Alright. Another talking stream. Let's go. I can't wait for my voice to be over. Alright, I'll let everyone pile in while I spread the word. How's everyone doing today? Okay. Um watch watch me talk about anime. Hashtag live stream, hashtag Twitch. Hashtag I guess we're kind of making Blue Talks a thing now too, because I'm kind of want to bring some of this type of content to the streams on a semi-regular basis. It's still going to be mostly based on the games, but I do want to talk about things that I've been doing off stream as well. So this is one of the many things. So that's the right one, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. And I think that's good. Yep, okay. Alrighty. Yay. It's very early in the morning. Um, I've been doing so much streaming lately, actually. So it's kind of crazy. I'm definitely taking a break from streaming for a little while just after this, just so I can do stuff Friday evening and then have a weekend to myself as well too. Get caught up on stuff hopefully. Uh, Actually, while I'm letting people come in, let me check my schedule for next week. See what's going on. Oh yeah, Monday I'm not working, so I can definitely stream that day. And then, yeah, Tuesday would be better if I can do it late night, if I can help it. I don't actually do many of these types of streams like early in the morning. I just so happen to have a lot of time before I have to go into work today, so I'm like, why not? Why not? But yeah, Tuesdays is probably gonna have to be late night. I am a weeb. Thank you for noticing. I love how Pansy is coming to both streams doing that too. He's opened up the last one with nerd, and now I am a weeb. I am both. I am collecting all of the collecting all the titles here today. Oh yeah, I forgot about my my cool dragon necklace. Oh well, I got my rings, so it's all good. All right, I'm gonna start it up. All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the live stream. Today we are going to be talking about anime, much like how we did yesterday, where we were talking about games, going through our giant list of games that I have backlogged. MyAnimeList is also a very popular list, which you can use to basically track all the anime you've watched and leave little reviews and scores and stuff. And yeah, a lot of people who watch anime use it, including me. So we're going to be going through mine today. I'm going to give all of my hot anime takes out there to the world so people know what I think about things and they can judge me accordingly. And yeah, it's gonna just be a fun time. So yeah, as much as I am a gamer, I am also an anime nerd. So I do like to watch a lot of anime. I'm planning to go to Japan later this later this year, and I do like a lot of Japanese culture. So of course I do like anime, and I have watched a decent amount, and I have a lot of things to say about the anime that I have watched over the course of my life. So we're going to do so here today. You better give me good recommendations. Oh boy. Um, well, here's my. I'll preface this at least first. A lot of my anime taste and anime that I have watched has been a lot of comedy anime. So if you like comedy anime, you'll probably like a lot of the things I'm about to go over on today's stream. But I have watched a couple of shonen stuff too. Not too much, but I like comedy mostly over everything else, and so you're gonna be seeing a lot of those series on the list. But I have a few shonen too. So and even some of the big hitters that people have been talking about. I still need to watch a lot of them just because I haven't gotten too far into them. But we'll go over that in the stream today. Here, let me get. I think I only have a little bit left of this. All right. So let's get right into the list, everyone. Whoopoosh. So here is my anime list. I just updated this recently, so it has my banner up top and the colors according to how I like it. Because it used to be just default for a good while, but now I've actually made it have my banner and everything. So the first thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going over all the anime I'm currently watching, um, or at least plan to watch in the very near future, and then we'll go through the list. Basically, yeah, in order as we have it here. Um, so it shouldn't take too long. I'm at least planning to get done with this by noon. I don't mind if we go a little bit longer because I have a little bit of time today, but we'll see how far it goes. So first of all, we'll go through our currently watching list, and you guys will notice from the first couple of lists I have here, um, these are all basically in alphabetical order, so no like actual particular order to how I'm watching these yet. I should maybe do it by progress, technically, just to kind of show that, but either way, it's fine. Um, and most of the stuff that you'll see on the screen too, again, along with the notes of the stuff here is, I'll have whatever notes I have for it down below, and then I'll have my progress indication over here. And any of the tags, I basically I did this for my own self just to kind of make things a little bit simpler and easier to look at on my list. Because there's a couple of different anime places I watch anime from, so I usually preface that in here, in the tags. So C stands for Crunchyroll. It means it's on Crunchyroll, and then Netflix obviously means it's on Netflix. Some are still left over from Verve when I was a thing, but since they got dropped off, I still haven't been able to fix those. But thankfully, most of them were moved over to Crunchyroll. Um, I think a lot of them are still locked to Funimation, which I don't have a subscription for, sadly. But I am trying to get through all the Crunchyroll series since I have that one for sure. And that is what I mainly use to watch all of my anime is Crunchyroll. But Netflix is also a nice addition of a place to go to as well. So first off, Baka and Test. So I have this just on my list just so I can eventually go through. A lot of my currently watching is like stuff that I really like want to get to after I'm done with some of the series I'm actually going through. So this is one that I've had on my list for a little while. I've actually technically watched I think up till maybe like episode 7 or something of of the series before, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. And this is back when I was watching it casually with friends, so I kind of want to get more invested into it my second go around. So that's where this one is all about and coming through. Basically, a little anime just about uh, school people uh, in like a fantasy kind of setting. They use powers and everything to I think fight monsters as well too. Yeah, it's a whole thing about summoning magic. So it's like a school about summoning magic and stuff like that. It seemed cool. It seemed neat. So I want to give it a go. Um, I'll say everything's good, right? Yep. Okay. want to make sure everything was being recorded right as it was before. I have all of the Bang Dream movies in line here to watch because I have been kind of on a Bang Dream kick for a good while now, ever since I started playing the game. Because I played the Bang Girls Party on my mobile device, and I like a lot of the songs and a lot of the characters so far. So I'm like, why not watch the movies and kind of get a little bit more attached to the stories and songs that they do in their respective movies, and they're all on Crunchyroll, so I'll definitely get through them at some point. They're movies too, so they should be a little bit easier to digest. I feel like than a 13-minute long episode series. So we'll see about that though. I just have to dedicate 2 or so hours of my life to watching the whole thing. So that's the whole thing about that. Send the link of your list, of course. I will be linking this into my description and everything as well too. Um, but it's literally just like my backlogger list. It's just literally my anime list slash anime list slash Blazooka. So it's pretty easy to find. Um, it's still under my name. I don't know if you can search by people's names, but I will definitely link this list to anyone who wants to see it and judge me accordingly. All right. Beastars is also on my list to watch. I am a furry. Yes, thank you for noticing. And I do want to watch more furry anime. So this is one of the few that have been recommended to me. And it's from what people have even said, people who even aren't furries like this anime. So I'm like, ooh, okay, I'll try it. So we'll see what it's all like. I haven't seen too many things about it because again, I try to for most animes, I try to avoid spoilers if I can help it. So I don't know a whole lot about it, but I just know that it's I think it's like a drama. I think it's like a drama kind of thing. But I'm looking forward to it. Demon Slayer, I have watched at least 2 episodes of that. I like what I have so far. I gave it an 8 so far. Um, it's a good premise. I like the animation style a lot. From clips and everything I've seen online, it's uh it's one of those animes that has a really cool visual style to it, and yeah, it's another thing where you're just you're the main character is this character who is fighting up all these different demons and trying to I guess save his sister who's afflicted by a curse. So it looks pretty fun. I want to get through more of it if I can help it. I don't know exactly. It might be like the next shonen anime at least I see. I feel like because I have been wanting to get into it for a good while because I've heard so many people rave about it and how much they like it. So I think it'll be cool. Um, I do have Gintama on my list as well. I do want to eventually watch it, even though it's so long. There's still like 200 episodes in just the first season alone. Um, but it's one of those comedy animes that I think it technically is a parody of other anime, which sounded funny to me. And again, I've seen clips of it online and everything too, and I'm like, ooh, this looks like basically something that I would just really be into. So I will definitely give it a go. It is on Crunchyroll, so I will give it a good watch. It'll probably be one of those animes that I watch alongside my other series every now and then, just to kind of because I think it is one of those types of animes where it's not necessarily something you need to watch binge out through, like one season all the way through. It's something that you can watch every week or so, just to get something good done for it. So that's probably what I'll treat it as, basically. Over 200 episodes has already lost me. Yeah. See, that was the main thing that strayed me away from getting into it as well too. But I think really the best way to digest that kind of anime, um, is episode by episode basis. Just like get dedicated, like I don't know, one day out of the week to watching it if you can. Basically, that's how I'm gonna do it at least. We'll see how well that works though. Um, by the way, just a little preface note too here is I am thinking about actually doing a monthly wrap up series where I talk about the games and anime that I've consumed over the month. It might not be very very long stream like how these ones are usually are, but I wouldn't mind just going through like every month at the end of every month, just be like, here's what I've done in my life, and this is what I think of things. Yeah, I did think about that a little bit overnight, Pansy. So I actually think that I might kind of go through with that idea. just because that's why I wanted to do today's stream too, so I can get all of my anime tastes out there currently of what I have, and then see what happens over time as I watch and consume more things. So so yeah, we'll see how well that works. All right, let's get through more of this. I am such a great influence. Yes, good, good. You do have some very good ideas, Vandy. So I thank you for the suggestion. All right, Gurren Lagann. I did start this anime like a while ago, um, and by a while ago I mean like um pre-COVID. So I have not watched it for a long time. I don't remember a whole lot about it. That's why I prefaced under it that I might restart it later because I got about 7 episodes into Gurren Lagann, and then I just kind of stopped watching it to watch other series instead, much like how I do with some of my games. Um, so I might go back to it at some point. It was a pretty good series for a while. It's like this whole mech anime, where people are trying to break out from the underground. It was pretty nice for a while. I got to the 7th episode, which was the fan service episode, and I didn't really get much further past it. But it's a cool shonen anime. Um, yeah, it was definitely a lot more mech heavy than I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect how much it was going to be, but it was cool for at least what I saw of it. I rated it a 9, so it impressed me at least what I did see of it. Um, Higurashi has also been recommended to me by a couple of other people. It's one of the horror drama based animes that apparently is supposed to get you right in the feels. So I'm curious about it. I'll watch it eventually, probably after I get through some of these other series. But I do have it as like a top will watch before a lot of other series on my list. Um, and if you guys also at some point in this video want to recommend series and stuff to me, go ahead. I am definitely still looking forward to getting more things on my list. So I would not mind watching more stuff. Um, oh yeah, and this is currently where I'm in the Hyperdimension series. Because yes, and Neptunia does have an anime series, and I have been watching it. The only parts of it I haven't seen yet is the last 2 episodes of the OVA, but I have watched the entire series up to that point. So I like it. It's a really good series. I'm very much heavily biased about it since I have played all the games. But even by itself, it explains the stories of the games pretty well. It's got some good animation. The characters are basically just as you would remember them in the actual games too. It's basically literally just an anime adaptation of the game. So if you like anime, you like Neptunia, definitely recommend for sure. Nagatoro better be on your list. It's somewhere on there. I don't know where it is, but Nagatoro is somewhere on there. Uh, but yeah, this is Nep. Yep, I'm very very biased. This you'll be seeing more of the Neptunia come up in my completed list, but we'll get to that in a second. Is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon? I did finish the first season, so I'm on the second season right now. I also did list here. That first season was cool. Looking forward to see what they do in this one. It was I like what I've seen so far of the anime. I like the characters. I like I think what was it what was her name? Lily Ruka, I think is what her name is. The the dog slash cat girl. I like her the most so far. I like the other ones too, but she's definitely my favorite one. But yeah, I do like that so far. It's one of the few. It's like a comedy action show, comedy shonen. So I like what I've seen of it so far. I just need to get through a little bit more of it. But I've been focusing on other anime series before I get back into season two. I watched season one with my dad. Funny enough, so he was the main. I was the main reason I was watching it with him. We haven't watched it for a good while together, so I might just continue it on my own. But I was curious to see if he ever would want to try to watch season two or not, though. But so far, it's not come up, so we'll see about it. Um, Isekai Quartet, I have it on my list just because I have been going through basically everything that's on Isekai Quartet up until up until the actual anime. So because there's I think 4 anime that are referenced in the show, and I kind of made a thing where I wanted to watch all of them in their own respective right before getting into the actual show, because I heard it's basically kind of like a it's just basically like a collaboration anime where they have all these people from all of these different isekai anime get together. I think in like a cafe setting, and and they just have some random collaboration moments together. I thought it was a cool idea, so I was like, I'll watch it. But first, I want to give the other series a chance. So far in the lineup of Isekai Quartet, I have seen Konosuba, I've seen ReZero, I've seen um, Ta- Tanya Saga of Evil, but I haven't gotten through all of Overlord yet. I'm still currently going through that one, but that's I think the last one before everything on the whole lineup is there basically. So looking forward to seeing that at least. Oh yeah, I did watch a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen. I watched the movie with my friends before during his premiere. It was cool. I like what I've seen of it so far. I give it a 4 so far, or no, I give it a 7 so far out of 10, and I've got 4 episodes into it. It's a decent shonen anime. I'm not really too much into like the hardcore shonen kind of stuff, but this has been an interesting premise so far. Uh, I just need to get into more of it later. Yeah, as I say right down here. Kill a Kill is also on my list. I do want to eventually watch it because I've heard really cool things about it, and just the premise of it sounded really interesting. Like it's I think it's almost kind of a parody-ish of certain of shonen anime because it goes hard like the shonen animes do, but in a very like overtly sexualized kind of way, uh, to the point where basically I think it's the more risque and the more the more of their bodies they show off, the more power that the characters get, and it just looked like a very ridiculous and very fun time. I've heard some good things about Kill la Kill, so I've been kind of curious to try it out myself and just see what all the hype is about. I've seen clips of it online. It does look pretty ridiculous. So I would love to get my hand at it. By the way, I don't know if you guys have seen him too, but Chainsaw Man is here, uh, just to say hi and judge my anime taste as well too. He's one of the few anime plushes I have too, except for what's it called? Uh, Stalking, who's all the way out there in my in the place that you can't see over there. But she is there. She is there for sure. I also did watch. I watched basically all of Konosuba except for the newest spin-off, which is the explosion on this wonderful world. Uh, I've been curious about it because I like Megami as a character. I like Megamine. Um, I still like I don't know. Out of the 4 girls, I can't really say for certain which, or the 3 girls, I mean, I can't really say for certain which one I like the most. They all have like their own charms to them. Um, there's something about Aqua. I think it's mostly because of the blue in her hair and everything. But I do kind of like Aqua a lot. But I think the best one for Kazuma is is Darkness. I that's my like one ship from the show that I like the most. I would say. But yeah, I've enjoyed the Konosuba anime so much. It's such a good comedy series. It's got some action moments in it too, but it's mostly about the comedy of a person going into another world and getting stuck with this party of people who are very terrible at their jobs, but they somehow do what they need to do. It kind of reminds me of like a D&D campaign kind of gone off the rails. Like these people kind of just all come together over their own circumstances and they have to stick together because they are technically kind of misfits in their own right and they have to overcome everything that's being thrown at them and from the world that they're thrown into. It's a cool series. Um, I highly recommend Konosuba to anyone who likes um, comedy anime. It's one of my favorite series I've ever watched actually. Lucky Star is one I've actually been playing or watching through a lot now. This is yeah, basically as I reference here, cute girls doing cute things. It's one of those kinds of anime. I have an 8 out of 10 so far. I like it so far. I've gotten about 7 episodes into it, and there's still I think yeah a couple more to go through. But this has been like the main one I've been trying to actually binge out and get through recently. I like what I'm watching so far of it though. It's a they have some very cute moments in it, and I like a lot of the girls that are shown in it. I obviously like the blue haired one the most. Um, oh god, I'm trying to remember their name now because it's been actually a little bit of a while since I watched it. Um, actually, here let me check it out real quickly. Konata. Yeah, she's the lazy otaku. Konata is my favorite one. She is the otaku, and she is very cute, and she has blue hair, and she has basically a cat face throughout most of the anime. She's a little mischievous. I just I don't know, I'm drawn to that, I guess. I completely forgot about Lucky Star. It used to be one of my favorites. Oh yeah, Panty? I actually really like it, to be fair. I like what I've seen of it so far. The other girls are really cute too, but I would say Konata is definitely my favorite one out of the four. Uh, best girl indeed. But yeah, I'm trying to get more through that, so we'll see what comes of that later down the line. I've watched the first two seasons of Overlord. I am now on the third season. Um, I basically took a break from watching Overlord for a little while so I could watch Lucky Star instead, because I was kind of in a pit of like while I was watching anime to be like to where I was like I have watched a lot of shonen recently, and I'm kind of getting a little drawn out by the style. I want to go back to comedy, so that's why I kind of went with Lucky Star for a while. I was like, I want to have like a palate cleanser from the stuff that's been going on in my shonen series. So that was basically what was going on for the past couple of months for me at least. But I do like Overlord so far. What I is from what I've seen, basically an isekai kind of thing where you are this character gets sucked into his video game world after the servers went down officially, and now he is this godlike character that he basically built up over time because he put so much time and effort into doing his game, and he has to overcome a lot of the obstacles and stuff that come with being in the video game world for real. Because now he has to deal with like the actual game politics of the characters and everything in it. Um, Very interesting premise. Um, I I kind of like the power fantasy aspect to it too, because the whole point of Overlord is that the main character is just this overpowered person who, in most cases, in a lot of his battles, doesn't even show his full potential. There's only one time where I think he's actually like gone serious, and it was against one of his own like people, and it was kind of crazy, just seeing like the power scaling of that, in that kind of anime. So overall, still pretty good. Recommend to anyone who likes action. Um, there's a little bit of comedy elements to it too, so that's nice too. Anyone who likes the isekai genre too, definitely a good watch, I would say too. I did watch a slight bit of Madoka Magica. I did the first episode so far. It's it does get, I heard it does get very dark, and it goes to some very interesting places. But I do want to watch it at some point. Um, I just need to give it the time of day, basically. Um, I was stuck between what version I wanted to watch because it was actually I think it was kind of maybe the same both ways, because I know the dubbing for English was most of the Neptunia cast, so a lot of their voices sounded familiar to me. But I think that might have been the same way the other way too. So who knows? Either way, I know they did share a couple of Neptunia voice actresses though, at least in the English dub for sure. That's what I remember standing out to me before about it. But yeah, at some point I'll give it a good go. It's on my now playing or my currently watching list, just so I have it like as a list as an anime I watch before everything else here. You know, ReZero season 3. I think, yeah, that's currently going on. I do need to watch it. Um, I wasn't sure if I should try to keep up with it, or if I should just wait to binge it out and go through the rest of my series as I've been doing. But I have wanted to watch it for a good while now. Um, I love ReZero. It's such a good series. Very very dark, very gritty. Um, but still very good and very emotional. I love the characters. Rem is best girl, and I've yeah, I've really it's actually I would say probably I don't know if I would say it's my favorite anime of all time, but it's definitely up there. Mm. Season 3 already out. Yeah, apparently. It's at least airing. I don't know how much of it is being aired, but I think that it looks like they have at least 16 episodes planned maybe for it. But yeah, definitely looking forward to watching more of that. Amelia Best Girl? I have been told that by another friend of mine too. I like Amelia. She has some really good qualities. I still like Rem the most, and it is not just because she has blue hair, although that is a big contributing factor. Yeah, most times out of 10, if in anime, if you give a girl blue hair, I will like her. That's just kind of like just a general rule, I would say. But I do also like her personality a lot too. She's very very nice, very sweet. I also like her giant freaking Morning Star weapon. It is the only reason. No, 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 no. It is a big reason why I like her, but I do like other characters as well too, for other reasons. But you will notice that chain across a lot of the girls I like. If they have blue hair, I am most likely going to love them. What can I say? I am a man of simple tastes. Ruby Ice Queendom is on my list to watch. I've watched basically all of the Ruby series up until the last season. Um, I I am still kind of a thing where I really like the Ruby series in its early stages. Like up until season 3, I would say that was up until volume 3. I would say that was basically peak for Ruby. Um, it started to taper down a little bit over time. I did. I still like what I seen of it. I like some of the character interactions and the overall plot and story of it, but it's gotten a lot more heavy, a lot more like the world is ending and what are we gonna do about this type of shit kind of thing, and like the stakes just keep getting higher to the point where you're just like, what the hell are these characters gonna do to actually overcome the massive threat that's coming over them, kind of stuff, you know? But it was a lot more simpler back in the day. It was that's why I think I liked season 1 and 3 through 3 is it was a lot simpler of a time during those cases. It was a lot more funny, and I enjoyed that as well too. But the Ruby series I love for sure. Um, it's one of those kinds of anime that I've really just enjoyed the concept of, just because I like the idea of not only the monsters that are like fueled by negative emotion, which I've implemented in my own worlds. Um, I love the idea of fusion weapons. I think those are so cool. And just about every character has either both a fusion weapon and a power that they like that are unique to them. And I think that's a cool concept. I think that's really it's really nice. And I watched a whole bunch of Ruby way back in the day when it was first coming out. I watched it before it became like, before they put season 1 through 3 into like a movie format. Like I actually watched them as they were being uploaded to YouTube. It was just that's how old ago that I've seen this series. It's a really good series. I would definitely recommend to anyone who likes comedy stuff or who likes just over the top action scenes because they basically definitely deliver on those fronts too. The visual style of the show has gone up over time, but I still I still like the earlier seasons the most, just by how they like handled everything overall. Even though the first couple of seasons are a little bit hard to watch just because of how old and dated they look. But that's because it was a team of indie animators doing their best, and they did pretty well for what they did. So yeah. Oh yeah, Best Girl. I need to say Best Girl. Uh, for a while it was Velvet for me just because I liked she reminded me a little bit of Victoria. It just at least with just her hairstyle and her mannerisms. Um, but I don't know. I really like Ruby actually. Yang is really good too. Yang is a really good choice as well too. And Blake has a lot of good qualities there too. She's the cat girl, so how could you not love her? But actually, you know what? No, I think oh god, there's so many good girls in that series, dude. There's so many good people in that series. Um, I would say it's a tie either between Penny and Pura. I like the both of them a lot, just for their own reasons. I think I might be leaning slightly more toward Penny. I like the robot girl a lot. She's very fun and very quirky, and I just love that. I also like her story a lot too. She's very very cool. Um, so yeah, that's Ruby, everyone. I need to watch Ice Queendom because apparently it is an anime adaptation. Like it was done by like Japanese animators and everything, but it's based on the first couple seasons. So that that concept by itself pulled me in. I was just like, ooh, like it basically. I don't know if it's a retelling or if it's like a reimagining of the story, but I'm curious to see what they did with it. And I'm most likely probably this is probably going to be one of the few I watched a lot of anime subbed, but this is probably going to be one of the few I watch dubbed because I watched the whole series in their English format. So yeah, that'll be fun though. All right, Ruby rant over. Sonic X. I watched basically all of the original Sonic X in English when it was airing on 4Kids, and it was a very interesting anime. Um, I it's all obviously all based on the Sonic franchise, and during the last couple of seasons of it, they went to some weird places. Like there's a point where at some point they went into space. Sonic got like a dark form, and they have all these different characters and space people going on at some point. Um, but it basically really is just an action anime based off of Sonic. So that's it was pretty cool. So far from what I've seen, the Japanese dub and version of it is a lot more uncensored than the 4Kids version that I watched. So I've actually been enjoying the Japanese version of the show that I've been watching so far. I've only got about 21 seasons episodes into it, but I like what I've seen so far. It's actually I feel like it's actually the more enjoyable one out of the two. Um, but yeah, it's very cool so far. If you didn't watch Sonic X growing up, you had a shitty childhood. That's fair, actually. Sonic X was definitely one of those shows early on in my childhood that kind of really helped shape my taste in anime. I would say it was a it was pretty good. I like what they did in 4Kids, but I would say if you want like the premiere experience of Sonic X and you don't mind watching the Japanese subtitles for it, definitely go ahead and watch the Japanese version of the show because I feel like that was like how the show was originally aired and meant to be watched. 4Kids did a lot of censoring to it, and I kind of like what they did in the original version. Spy Family. I did watch the first season. It's a good anime. Um, I do really like Yor. She's a good character. Anya is very cute, and it's just a very good like comedy slash action kind of thing. Sort of slice of life, I guess, in a case because they are basically just like these highly trained assassin slash spy people trying to cover up their identities. It's such a funny premise for a show because one person is a highly trained assassin and the other one's a spy, and they're basically doing their best to keep their identities hidden from each other. But the only one who knows about it is the child that they're looking after who has mind powers. So I'm like, okay, like it's just a cool concept for a show, and it's very very funny. I've actually been enjoying it quite a lot. I was watching it with my family for a good while, which is the main reason why I haven't watched more part 2, but I want to finish it. It's such a good series. I'm currently reading the manga for Spy Family. It's my favorite series so far. Yeah, I I could see that. I wonder how the manga actually compares to the anime adaptation, or I don't actually remember which came first. I think it was based off of the manga. So it's pretty good though. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Um, I just need to get through more of it. Um, very very fun though. Um, Sword Art Online is a giant topic. Okay, so again, because it's going to be coming up later, I'm going to be saving the Sword Art Online talk for when I get to it, because they are going to all come up and completed. But the only one I think I haven't seen is Alternative, Gun Gale Online, and Alakazation. So I need to get through those. they're on my list. This one is the one I want to watch next, Gun Gale Online Alternative, because I heard a lot of good things about it. Um, and I do want to see what all of it is about. I've been watching the Sword Art Online series for a good while. I have opinions to say on the first series, but like I said, we will get to that later. I need to watch the anime to compare. I've finished the 13th book recently, so I should catch up on the anime before the next book is released in English for Spy Family. Okay, I got you. But yeah, I have opinions about Sword Art Online. I will share them in a bit. Rising of the Shield Hero. Um, yeah, so I've watched the first season of it. It was all right. It was pretty good. It was a really cool concept for a show. Um, I think yeah, I really like the main girl. Whatever her name was. Oh God, I'm trying to remember the names of people now. It was oh God, let me see. What was it? I need to remember again. Da, 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 da. They don't have her on here. She's right there. She's that one. That one. Raftalia. That's what it was. I am. Don't mind me. I am. I forget things a lot. I like Raftalia a lot. She's a very cool character. Um, and I've liked what I've seen so far of it though. I haven't watched season two, but I've been meaning to. It's just it's a little bit lower on my priority list to watch because of all the other anime I want to watch instead. But I liked what I've seen of it so far. Another isekai video game ish type of anime, you know. Check your notifications. Oh yeah, I have a lot of those, don't I? I don't know what they're all about, to be fair. Aside from aside from you, everyone that I talk to that loves anime hates SAO. Yeah, like I said, SAO definitely has. Again, I have opinions about SAO. I will get to them. I'll get to them in a bit. Um, but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching more of it. I've liked what they've done so far. I like the characters. I like the story. Um, the first season of Shield Hero was actually a really cool concept, just because it was one of the few isekai series where the main character doesn't feel like he's meant to feel like an underdog. Like basically this whole world is actually against him, and he has to do all these things to prove himself against basically the shitty hand that he was dealt with. And I kind of like that. I like the concept of anime where or the concept of the underdog, where it's someone who everyone doesn't really appreciate or look up to, but he eventually makes a name for himself and proves himself with his actions. Like that's cool. I like that. So that was a cool reason why I got into the series. Uh, Tokyo Ghoul is on my list. I haven't gotten too far into it. I watched the first, I think, 3 episodes of it before I got blocked off from seeing it more. I did purchase the rest of the series on physical, so I can actually watch that at some point. But I'll get into it at some point. I liked what I saw of it the first time I watched it. Um, I don't know how it gets later on, but it seemed like a cool concept. You know, like I think it's like a whole like horror shonen kind of thing where they're trying to fight against these like the ghoul things in their society. I've I just need to get more into it. I liked what I've seen of it so far. I just haven't gotten too far into it. And finally, I got these two down here. Agretzko. Um, hello. I do like Agretzko. Yes. What are you talking about? Yeah. I really liked the first season. I think it was the best one out of the whole series. Um, I like the art style and the adult themes and messages that it has. I didn't really know about this until like really later on in the series, but apparently it is basically like it's one of those series that's kind of like South Park and stuff like in the way where it actually like touches on a lot of real life topics and it brings attention to a lot of real life things going on in Japanese culture. Some of it went over my head because I wasn't like really into it back when I was first watching it, but the more I understand about the Japanese culture, the more I'm like, okay, I get it now. Because they do touch upon like a lot of the things that are like, I would say, I guess, touchy inside the Japanese culture. Like the first episode was all about Japanese work life, and then the other ones I think went on a different path. You'll see those in the completed, but I liked what it was a good comedy anime that kind of like basically highlighted good and bad parts about Japanese work life culture and being in an office setting like that. Uh, a lot of the characters are really fun and had to watch and everything. Um, I still like Agretsuko the most, or Retsuko the most. She's a very good, nice character. But I do like some of the other people too. Later on, at least in the series, I did like some of the other characters a little bit more. But she was good for the first season at least. And then of course, Ouran High School Host Club. So the reason these two are blue, by the way, too, is because these are ones I'm technically rewatching. Because I watched them the first time. I rewatched Agretsuko because I originally watched it in English. Uh, I don't really know. I probably would have liked it more if it was in Japanese, but which I so far kind of am because I that's what I'm doing now is I'm rewatching it in Japanese. But I did watch it first in English, and I watched the whole series basically up to that point because I was kind of used to the voices and how they stuck with me. It was pretty good. I still enjoyed it, but at some point I wouldn't mind going through the rest of it in the Japanese style just to see what how it sounds and how it looks. And it's still the same series, but it just sounds and it just sounds different. But yeah, that's my thing on that. And then Ouran High School Host Club. I watched this way back in the day. This was one of the shows that was recommended to me um, by people in high school, and it was all right. It is the tomboy anime, and it's a reverse harem anime where instead of a guy getting all the girls, it's a girl that's starting to get flirt and do things with all the guys um, at their prestigious high school host club. My former friend dragged me into the high school into Oran when I was living in Kent. I got so bored of it, but I still watched with her anyways. Yeah, there definitely is like a certain type of fandom that loves the show, and I'm like slightly in that category. I liked what I've seen of the show, um, but there's parts of it where I was just like, okay, like I get which audiences caters to. Not necessarily me, but I can still appreciate it for what it was. Um, it actually had a decent amount of what's it called? It was one of those anime that I watched that had a decent amount of diversity in it. Because not only from the guys in it, but like the fact that the main character was this tomboy who passed off so much as a guy that she got to fit in with all these other people, and also the fact that I think it was her father was also like this LGBTQ kind of like personality. It was very interesting. It was a it was a it was a good old comedy slice of life kind of show. Um, a lot of I think a lot of the female anime fans are gonna enjoy this more, or the people who like guys the most, because it does focus a lot on the guys. I will say that. Um, and speaking of that, Best Boy, who is Best Boy? Oh God, I don't really know. I uh, I like them for their own reasons. Um, it's been such a long time since I've actually touched upon it and watched it in full. I think there's something about the nerdy one with the glasses, the really serious one that kind of drew me into him. I kind of liked his aesthetic a lot. I like the cute the small cute one a lot too, but I know that's he's basically like the lolly slash Shota of the of the thing. So I don't know if I should be speaking too much about that, but I did like the one guy. I forgot what his name was though. Does it say it in here? Oh, not this guy here. Yeah, I liked his aesthetic the most. I would say he's gonna say his name down here somewhere. There it is. Kyoya. Kyoya. I like Kyoya. He was cool. Um, I know at some point during this anime too, there was a character that looked strangely like me. I'm just like, hey, wait, that's me. Back when I had like brown hair. But he was nothing like me, I think at least. But he did have like my same look, which I thought was funny. Um, But yeah, that's all my anime I'm currently watching. Oh boy, now we get to go into the fun part. The anime I have watched. These are things I actually have opinions about. All right, let's get into it. All right. So again, we're going through alphabetical order, so uh, no any particular like order. These are, or actually, I don't know. Okay, before we fully get into this, what do you guys think? Should I go through this in alphabetical order, or should I go through it by top to bottom? Because I have rated just about all of these shows, top to bottom. So up to you. What do you guys think about that? Should I start with the good then to the bad, or should I just go indiscriminately alphabetical, top to the bottom? Okay, I think that might be a better way to do it too. So yeah, I'll do it by score. That way we can go through all the anime that I think really highly of, and then we can get to all the shit later. This is gonna be funny, especially because a lot of these are gonna be out of order now, technically, because of how I feel about certain ones. Okay, so let's start from the top. You guys will see here. The first one I have on my list is Fully Cooley. Very, very fun anime. It was really short, but I really enjoyed what I saw of it. Um, I forgot how exactly I was able to see it, but if you're able to find it on anything, it's such a good watch. It's a just a very over the top, very funny, very action heavy anime. Um, just very really cool to just watch and go through. I don't remember like really again it's because I watched it like way back in like the early 2010s, but it was really cool. The what I remember of it. I remember it left a really good impression on me, even though it was only 6 episodes long. Still a really good anime though. I would highly recommend anyone watching it or just trying it out if they wanna see what it's all about. I think it's really just like just one of those over the top animes. Really loved Angel Beats. This anime actually made me cry. Also, very great music. Yeah, the ending for this series fucked me up big time. I remember doing that as I watched it. Such a good series though. I love the band in it. It was definitely really like anime music focused. The concept of it was really cool. I think too. Like I think it was all these people who were on the. It was like I think they were like all on the verge of like basically passing on to the afterlife, but they had like one last little meet together, or there was something that was keeping them from passing on that they had to like look past and accept, or something like that, you know. But um, it was like I really liked all the characters. They went on some really crazy, weird adventures. Um, yeah, it's both comedy and drama, and also definitely music heavy. So that's why I listed those tags for it. I loved it those for sure. Who's best girl? Who is best girl? Who is best girl? I don't remember everyone. Well, I have to look through everyone. Let's see. We got. Oh God, I'm trying to remember who a lot of these girls are. Actually, to be fair, um, I remember liking TK a lot just because of the fact that she was basically like the American or not, or I think, or TK was the guy. I think right. Yeah, TK was the guy. He he was one of those people who like he was like the American guy where he and it was interesting hearing someone like they're still obviously I think well, actually no they are actually played by an American voice actor too, but it was cool actually seeing hearing that in an anime too. Just an American character legitimately like he still spoke pretty good Japanese throughout it too. And then I don't know, I don't remember a lot of these people to be fair. I do remember really liking this anime though. I think Kanade and Yuri were the two main people I remember liking the most out of the two. Kanade's very much like that silent or not that basically the quiet what's it called tsundere-ish type of lolly girl who doesn't really have a lot of emotion to her voice. And then Yuri's very much like the opposite. She's like very um, over the top, um, excitable kind of thing. I think I like Yui too. Yui, or I think Yui was the one that was in the band, right? Yeah, I think all of those people were part of the band. Um, if I were to remember and give it up to someone in particular, I think I like Yuri a little bit more just because of her personality. But I really like Hanade as well too. She was really nice. All right, Penny and Stocky. What a wild show. I love the art style and characters so much. Comedy and action is so over the top and vulgar. Stalking is best girl. I stand by that. Stalking is the best girl. Um, but I like Penny a lot too. She's really funny. I love this show. I want to rewatch it in Japanese, just because I watched all of it at first in English. Um, the art style kind of didn't stand out as like a Japanese, I guess, art style. So I thought it was like a more of an American styled anime, but I do actually want to see what it was like in that sense too. Um, it was such a great show. I enjoyed it so much. It was so very over the top. It was such a wild concept where angels basically are using the literally parts of their clothing into weapons and fighting demons and monsters in the world and everything. It's so funny. It's so great. I love this series. I don't know if they'll ever come out with another season of it, but I loved what I saw of it. It's so great. Um, I do want to rewatch it though again because I remember parts of it, but not like a whole lot. But I remember loving the hell out of it. Did watch Fate Zero. Um, a really good start into the Fate series. Prologue to the main story. Really cool fights and characters all around. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I would say basic Fate is a weird series to get into again too because even I haven't technically fully gone into the Fate series. This was basically my introduction into it. Was Fate Zero. Um, I would say if you want to see what Fate is like, but you're scared to actually like progress all the way throughout all of these types of different Fate anime out there, Fate Zero is a good one to start with. Um, I would say it basically kind of it shows off a lot of what the Fate stuff is like. Um, and like I said, it's because it's technically a prologue to the story. If you are interested in Fate, this is a good starting point because it basically goes over um, things that go on before the main series. Um, I still have to actually watch more of it, but I've liked what I saw of it so far. Is it Fate is an interesting concept because it's basically like a bunch of people fighting in the real world with people of the past as like their main like uh, fighters and summons, um, so they can get this holy grail that will basically give them ultimate power or grant them their ultimate wish. Um, it's just a good premise for a good action anime, I would say. Uh, I liked what I saw of this of Fate Zero. Um, a lot of the characters are really cool. I see why a lot of people like Saber. I do like her as well too. And yeah, I also watched season 2 of it too. So I would say definitely if you have not gone into Fate yet, definitely watch Fate Zero. Even if you have watched Fate, definitely watch Zero and just because I think it was just a good entry. And Hyperdimension Neptunia. Yeah, I did watch the Hyperdimension Neptunia anime. Um it was such an it was actually really great, a really good adaptation of the games, I would say. Yeah, Consummate Gods, love the games, great adaptation. Key reference to the true end of the game and a wholesome happy ending to bring everyone out together at the end. Yeah, there was basically so here's the thing about Neptunia anime. For anyone who doesn't know or hasn't played the games, this basically does cover just about everything from the main three series of games. So it covers everything from the first game, from Mark II, and from Victory. It basically and somehow they were able to fit all that into 12 episodes. So it's a pretty good faithful adaptation now, though I would say. And then of course, obviously the OVA at the very end. It's a reference to how the games do a true ending, where there is a way that all the characters are brought back together, despite what happens in the anime itself. I'm still mad that Discord cucked us from watching it together. Yeah, it was very sad. Um, I still yeah, I don't know. I might be able to actually get it back again because I have a physical copy of the anime now that I'm pretty sure I can stream over Discord. That would be fine. It should be the original series and the OVAs. So At some point, it would be cool to watch it together. I think it's a good watch, especially if you're a Neptunia fan, um, or even if you're not like into the Neptunia series. If you just like action comedy anime based off of video game girls, and this is a pretty good watch, I would say. Just even non-biased, I would say it's a pretty good anime. Basically covers just about everything that the games would have had to offer. Um, I don't necessarily. Well, it does spoil, I guess, some characters in some moments, but you're still going to get a lot of story out of the games if you choose to play it after watching the anime. So I don't think it's a bad watch, even if you are thinking about getting into the games. It's overall pretty good. I would say this is just a really good adaptation of the anime of the games. As a fan of them, Silent Voice is on here as well too. This is a really good anime movie. It was nice to see one with a deaf representation, and it made me cry. Yeah, very much so. Definitely, yeah, one of the more like serious, heavy tone, sort of drama anime out there. I really enjoyed it though. It was again, it was really actually cool to see an anime series have representation of like of deaf people and like have like actual like they actually did like proper sign language in the anime as well too, which is very cool to see. Like they actually had to animate their hands, moving and doing the sign language, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And it's a really good like anime. They really get you in the feels too. It really did get me in the feels for a couple of times, especially near the end. Goddamn, that ending was emotional. Even just recalling it is making me tear up, dude. Such a good movie, though. Honestly, I was really glad I decided to watch it. I'll definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to watch just a really good anime movie. If you like really good animation or Japanese animation movies, definitely watch it. Um, Konosuba, I love Konosuba. This should come as no surprise. I lit rate it as 10. One of my favorite comedy anime. It's a band of misfits somehow get through problems by sheer luck and hilarity. It's basically the best way to describe Konosuba, honestly. It's such a funny and great anime series. I love it so much. Uh, so many good characters too. ReZero and another really great series. Again, one of my favorite anime ever. Characters are so good. Story goes deep. Absolutely brutal. While also being comedic and lighthearted, and other times Rem is best girl. Yes, still stand by that. Still stand by all of that. But yeah, she very 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 good anime series. Even just the first anime series by itself, I out of the two, you'll see it down the line here too. But I enjoyed the first season more than I like the second series, this or the second season of it. But I still enjoyed the whole thing overall. Um, Anime gets very very brutal, and it really gets you like kind of emotional at some parts too because of how deep it goes and what they touch upon in the series too. It's just such an interestingly made and just a really well made anime, I would say. It's definitely hard to get into though if you're not into the bloody gory stuff, but still pretty good nonetheless. Speaking of, hey, palate cleanser, new game. I'm very biased about new game. I know a lot of people are, or at least most of the people I've heard watch new game weren't necessarily too impressed by it. I still like it though. If you like comedy anime, if you like seeing cute anime girls do cute things in a slice of life environment, or if you just like the idea of seeing what Japanese video game developers have to go through, I'd say it's a good entry if you want to watch it. Hifumi is best girl. I like her the most. She is the cosplay otaku who is very very shy. Has a very she has a lot of Victoria qualities. I would say she's basically almost just like Victoria if she didn't have her mind powers and if she was more into doing cosplay. But yeah, overall very very good anime. Um, I really like the characters in it. Um, a lot of the other characters are really good too, but this is definitely my favorite one in the series. I like the first one the most. I think the second season was all right. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I still enjoyed it pretty well. Here's Konosuba number two as well too. Even more hijinks. Yes. Basically, just yeah, more of the same thing. Yep. Oh, yeah, and there's new game two as well too. Yeah, they basically just added another. I think they added two more characters basically into the fray, and they were both good additions. I liked both of them. I still like the original cast the most, but this is a good addition to the anime, I would say, and a good way to progress the story as they put in. Considering the direction we're going in roleplay, she is going to be more into cosplaying. That is fair. She has been doing more of that recently. I've noticed that. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. What a great comedy anime series, honestly. Again, like I said, you're going to be seeing a lot of comedy anime on my series because I've been watching so much of it. But goddamn, this is such a great show. I funny and cute anime with some cool battles in between, very enjoyable. Yeah, like if you just want to see some over the top action and some over the top just like funny hijinks of dragon girls trying to fit in with society, this is it. This is the anime for you. Oh God, best girl. Best girl is always a funny case with shows like these. Um, I don't know. I actually like Toru a lot. She just the main dragon girl. I like her a lot actually. Um, I like Liliku a lot as well too. The blonde one in the back. I feel like I don't know if you've seen the anime Pansy, but I have a strange inkling that you would like Quetzal. That's what her name was. I think you would like Quetzal the most. I just have a feeling, just a strange feeling that you would. Um, and of course it has the lolly, the lolly. I still like Toro the most though out of everyone. Fafnir is also pretty cool too. I would say out of everyone, he's best boy at least. Um, but Toru, she's pretty good. She's just so funny. Very very funny series. I've watched all of it. I like the first season the most, but I like the rest of it just about as much as well too. Quetzal is best girl. Yeah, I I had a feeling. I had a feeling. I know your type, Pansy. I had a feeling. All right. Oh yeah, ReZero. I did watch the movie for it. For Memory and for Memory Snow. Cute movie that felt like it could have been part of the anime. Just a really good, wholesome moment in an otherwise gruesome anime. Yeah, that's basically kind of how I felt about that. It was like one of those OVA type of movies where it was basically just the cast um doing a cute little thing where they they're just building. I think they're basically having like an ice sculpt. It was either ice sculpturing or like a snowman building contest to help brighten the spirits of the people in their nation. It was a cute idea. Again, like I thought it was a really cute idea. It's interesting that they made its own movie, but because it does kind of divert from the feeling of the anime because it really was just like a more wholesome take on the ReZero series that was actually really nice to see. I really enjoyed that just because of that fact. I remember watching half of the series with Alex when we were waiting for you to join a call. Oh yeah, yeah, it's a good watch. Dragon Maid's a good watch, definitely for sure. I also do, yeah. I really enjoyed Memory Snow. Promise Neverland. I really did enjoy the first season of it. I heard season two dropped off, so I haven't touched it yet. But really cool, creepy idea. Farming kids like livestock. Yeah, that's basically what the anime is about. It's a really like dark and gritty kind of thing, but really interesting concept. I haven't really seen anime do something like that for a while. It's interesting seeing what they did to like get basically out of their situation. It was a really really cool anime. I'd recommend it to anyone who likes drama or likes dark gritty stuff. Basically, that's kind of really the vibe it gets. I watched this with my friends a couple of times before. I actually think I watched the first season twice because I watched it once with them, and I think I watched it once with another group of friends. That was fun. ReZero, Frozen Bond. A really neat movie that goes over the backstory of Amelia. Really made me appreciate her and Puck as characters more. Yeah, yeah. Frozen Bond was a good movie too. Um, it really like delved deeper into Amelia's backstory and everything, and how she connected with Puck as well too. Um, this movie really did make me like both of them more as characters. Um, again, like just about everyone in the ReZero cast is a really are just really well written and well rounded characters. I still like Rem for my own reasons, but she is Amelia and Puck were really good in this movie. It was a really good watch overall. It did get pretty emotional too near the end. I think really cool. I really love the ReZero series. It's actually one of my favorite. I would say actually ReZero is probably my favorite anime for sure. It's just really good. I put so many entries of the series up in the top 10. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then we also got Highlight. So these are neat smaller episodes referencing ideas from Mega Dimension. Yeah. So yeah, Highlight was the two-part episode special where they basically helped bring in characters from the Mega Dimension series, which I thought was kind of interesting. I was just like, okay, so they decided to actually kind of extend the animation adaptations by touching on the other games. I thought that was cool. It was a good entry to the series. I would definitely just recommend watching this if you've watched the main series. And then yeah, I did like Starting Life on a World ReZero Season 2 Part 2. And on the good notes, I love all the characters that were thrown in. Yeah. Yeah, I still like them. Yeah, I liked a lot of the characters that were thrown in near the end of it. Again, just ReZero by itself, I just really love the whole anime. Just a really good anime overall. It's just very gritty and dark sometimes. You just have to get past that. Otherwise, it's good. All right. Princess Mononoke. So now we're getting into my 9 out of 10. So these are anime that I still really liked, but I didn't think were as good as the ones all the way up here. Um, I like Princess Mononoke a lot, though, still. It was a very good Ghibli movie. Um, I remember watching it with someone before. It was a very good series. It was just or not series. It was a good movie. I haven't really gotten much into the Ghibli films, but this is definitely one of the ones I would put up there. It actually kind of makes me want to watch more Ghibli films just because I like this one as much as I did. Uh, I don't really know what to. Yeah, there's not really much I feel like I need to really say too much about it. I just uh, I just really like the concept and I really like the characters and the story. It was just a really well executed movie, I would say overall. Death Note, I love. This is a good series. First season was the best one. Really cool psychological drama. Yeah. I want to rewatch Death Note. That was my favorite anime when I was a teenager. Yeah. It is definitely one of those gritty like edgy animes that are out there. Um I really actually really like the concept of the psychological drama. I haven't really seen much anime do that kind of concept really well, but this Death Note really did it well. Um it also had a good like moral dilemma of just like if you had like, this notebook where anyone whose name you write into it dies however you choose, what would you do with it? And of course one person saw it as his justice to get rid of all the criminals in the world by brutally murdering them. And the whole time he's being hunted down to try to find out who this person is that's killing all these people. A very cool anime. I definitely would highly recommend it to anyone who likes drama, um, or who even likes the psychological stuff too. It's just a really good series actually. I enjoyed Black Butler a lot. I haven't watched a lot of it recently again because I watched this back in, like I said, my high school days. This is one of my main animes I watched back in high school, but I still really enjoyed what I watched of it. Um, the the characters are very interesting in that show. Um, I was again convinced by a lot of my friends to watch this anime all the way through, and I did enjoy it. So I don't remember too much about it now, but I do remember liking it. So do with that as you will, I guess. Um, same thing with this one, Heaven's Lost Property. I don't remember much about this one, but I was pretty sure I liked it. Yeah, It's kind of how I felt about a lot of these when I was putting them on the list. I was just like, I don't remember what I liked about it, but I do remember liking it. So I'll rate it highly. Why not? I just remember it's the whole thing about like I think like angels or something. Um, I liked a lot of the girls in here. Um, I like the blue hair one, obviously for obvious reasons. But yeah, I also want to get everyone to have his lost property. Oh yeah, Ben, that's right. I think so. Yeah, it was a while since I watched it though. But yeah, I remember liking what I saw of it though. Black Butler 2 I watched and enjoyed just as much as the first season. Not really much else to say about that one. And then I think we ended up watching it when we had everyone staying at your place. Oh yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, yeah, we had like a group session where that's what a lot of these animes were. To be fair, is a lot of them were like watch sessions that we all did together because we did a lot of those back in the day. Um, oh yeah, I remember actually I did rate the Naruto movie pretty highly too. I this is one of the few Naruto movies I remember watching. Um, I remember liking what I saw because again I this is when I got into the Naruto series pretty well because I had never actually really watched the Naruto series of the anime in full. I did watch I think at least the first series of it up until like a certain point, and then I started just playing the games for the rest of the story. So that's basically how I knew most of the characters and story of it was from the games of Ultimate Ninja Storm. But it's still a pretty good movie regardless. I think this is I think my brother showed me this movie because I think this is the one where they had like the giant. This might have been the one where they had the giant Madarame fight, which was actually pretty sick. That was a pretty cool moment in the series. To be fair, um, my mental choices are completely interfering with my school romantic comedy. Really funny idea. An ultimate choice in deciding your fate. Cute girls and shenanigans. Yeah. Um, this anime is actually really like not like too impressive, but I do like I just me personally, I actually really enjoyed it just because I really like the concept of it. I like the idea that you are that the main character basically had these like literal ultimate choices to make because otherwise he had to otherwise things wouldn't progress the way that they did. It's basically like almost as if he was locked into a real life visual novel, and and there was just this voice, overcoming him, who was just like, "Choose. What do you want to do, this or this?" And then he has to make a choice, and they're usually very extreme things, where they actually like make quite a big difference in what he has to do. I don't remember a lot of the girls or who I like the most out of it. Let me actually look over the characters again real quickly. I remember Chocolat a little bit. Yeah, Chocolat was like one of the main girls. Yeah, I think I like Chocolat a lot actually. The other ones I think were pretty good too, but she stood out to me for some reason. I can't exactly tell you why, but she did. But yeah, overall interesting series. And one of the few comedy series I strangely enjoyed, even though I don't think it was like the best anime ever. I still think it was interesting. I did watch Seven Deadly Sins. I watched the first season, the first 24 episodes. It was enjoyable. I really liked it. It was pretty good. I like a lot of the characters in it, especially Giantess Girl. I think she was my favorite one. Was the Giantess Girl? I forget what the hell her name is though. Da, 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 da. What is her name? What is her name? Diane. That's what it was. I like Elizabeth though too a lot too. She's really nice too. But there's something about Diane I liked a lot too. Um, but yeah, pretty good anime, pretty good concept. Pretty good action scenes. I know it. I heard from a lot of people that it fell off after a while, and there's a lot of censoring issues going on with it. So I haven't really watched that far into it. But first season was pretty good. Um, not too bad. Not too bad, I would say. Sarah for the End. I really enjoyed the series. This is basically, I think, yeah, Vampire Reign. So I think it's like a whole thing about it's like holy weapons and fighting undead and all these kind of stuff too. Uh, I don't remember a whole lot of the content. I just remember really enjoying the show. It had some really cool action sequences, had some really cool characters. Overall, I think just a good pick if you want to watch something that is just really good. Or that's more like action and character heavy. It's a really cool concept. Let me actually read the synopsis again just to kind of remind myself. A mysterious virus that kills everyone above the age of 13. Mankind becomes enslaved by power-hungry vampires. That's what it was, yeah. So yeah, basically people are getting farmed by these vampires, I think is what it is. Yeah, so it's like a group of people who are trying to, I think, fight back against the vampires that are trying to farm and control them. Post-apocalyptic supernatural shonen that follows a young man's search for retribution, all while battling for friendship, loyalty, and the seemingly impossible odds. Yeah, that's basically right. So yeah, that's what I would say about it. It was enjoyable. Recommend for sure if you want to get into stuff like that. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in the dungeon? I spoke my piece about the first season. I think of this. Really, really good anime. I think it was Lily Ruka, right? That was her name. Yeah, Lily Ruka. She's my favorite girl. I like her a lot. Hesia is interesting too, but and also of course Eyes, but I like her the most. Very very interesting concept for an anime. Um, I just I'm curious to see where the rest of it goes. I just need to watch more of it. I've only really watched the first season. Yeah, especially Lily Ruka. Curious to see where the rest of it goes. Yep. But I do like a lot of the characters. That's the thing about me with a lot of animes and series I watch is I get attached to a lot of characters to the point that I do like a lot of them the same. But there is usually always one I do put above everyone else. And my face will light up every time that they come up on screen. I'm like, yes. She was definitely one of those people. All right, Food Wars. I enjoyed Food War series. Especially the first season. I'd recommend at least watching the first season just to get a good concept of what it's like. Um, it is very much follows like the shonen anime thing throughout the whole series though, where it's a lot of the series is just going to be more of the same type of thing, but with higher stakes, basically. But yeah, really funny, over the top, amazing looking food, and insane amounts of fan service. Yeah. So if you like your what's it called? What's the genre called again? It's not hentai. It's the one before it. Ecchi. If you like ecchi anime, this is for you. Also, if you really want to get hungry, definitely watch Food Wars. They make some amazing looking food in that game. If you want to get hungry, it's really good for that. uh, um, I don't know. There's not a lot of the characters were too like overly memorable. I do remember liking the blue hair girl though a lot, just because she's just a very kind and sweet person, and obviously she has blue hair, so she's going to Megumi is going to be a little bit higher up on my list than the other people. Um, but yeah, overall not too bad though. I liked Alice a lot too. She was a cool character too. But yeah, that's basically all I got really to say about Food Wars. The other arcs are very very strange and interesting. And it basically it's kind of one of those animes that you kind of get used to the formula after you see the first season of it. Um, that's the reason it kind of dropped off for me after a while. Is just because I'm like, okay, this is stuff I've basically seen before. There's not a whole lot of new stuff going on, but it's a decent cooking anime. I did watch the Boruto and movie. I did enjoy it, contrary to popular belief. Um, I mostly liked it because of just all the different action scenes and like the fact that we got to see the Naruto characters doing their stuff in it too. Um, I still don't like. I don't really like Boruto as a character too much compared to the other people, but I do like everything else that went on in this movie. Everything else was pretty cool. Um, it had some really good action scenes actually. That's probably why I put it as a 9. Is just for those scenes alone in the movie. Um, it was cool. I as a Naruto fan, I do enjoy at least those aspects of it. I don't really like a lot of what they do with Boruto in general, but the movie was good at least. Seraph at the end. Oh yeah, this is right. This is season 2, I think, right? Yeah. Again, I basically rate her along the same line as the other one. And then the Signs of the Holy War. That's right. Yeah, I think that was the OVA going into season 2, something like that. I remember I did watch that. Yeah. Okay, we're about halfway down the list. We gotta start going through these. Um, oh yeah, My Hero Academia. That's another big shonen series I have decided to watch. Really cool anime about superheroes if they all worked like normal jobs in society. Also, a really good story of a kid that makes his dream come true, going from zero to hero. See, I'm kind of a sucker for those kind of animes. I like seeing the underdog slowly get better and improve over time. That being said, I still don't really like Deku as a character too much, just because of how much he has to, like, basically just of how what kind of character type he is by himself. I like a lot of the other characters in the anime though, for sure, but Deku is at least not my favorite one. Uh, Speaking of characters, there's a lot of great characters in this anime. A lot of the girls, like, they look. Say what you will about My Hero Academia, but they know how to make some of the female characters in the show. They really knew what they were doing when they were making a lot of these female characters. Let me tell you, Ochacho is GF material. Ochako is pretty good. I will say that for sure. She does have a lot of good qualities to her. Um, I like Suyu a lot too. Um, God, there's more characters. Why are they labeled like this? Um, I like a lot of the characters actually too. I like Mina. Mina's really cool too. Um, Female reporter. That's my favorite one right there, dude. I like Kyoka. Kyoka's really cool too. I love her, like, earphone ability. Denki's so funny. Uh, Namuru is for definitely for a certain type of people. He's funny too. Um, a lot of these characters are just really good. Even Inko is a decent mom character. He's very strange. uh, who else have we got? Uh, a lot of these I'm not really remembering too many things about. Hand guy Tomura is a very interesting villain. Uh, Chio's cool. Yeah, Mountain Lady. Yeah, Mountain Lady. You already know Mountain Lady. Shoto's really cool. I like his character design and concept a lot. He reminds me of Xavier in a lot of ways just because of that. He's cool too. Fumikage. He's really cool. He's already cool. He's cool too. Momo's really cool too. I like her a lot. And then yeah, and then there's a lot of newer characters I don't think they have shown here yet. The Bunny Girl's cool too. I haven't really seen much of her. Bubble Girls seem cool too. Um, just a lot of good characters in the show actually. I do want to kind of get back into it at some point, just because I've dropped off the series for a little while. Um, but I've enjoyed what I've seen of it so far. I just dropped off after a while because I think I was in a pit where I was kind of just sick of watching so much shonen anime that I wanted to watch more comedy. So that's what I've been doing. But I will probably watch the newer seasons at some point, probably after I watch Demon Slayer. All right. Boruto. I Yeah, again, the movie was all right. The day Naruto. Actually, it was this. Oh, this is a special, like, little episode I think of that I watched of it that was kind of leading into the movie. I think that's what it was. Yeah. My for all the Boruto stuff that you're seeing on this list, you can thank my brother for that. He was definitely one of those people who was unironically into this Boruto series, and he made me watch a decent amount of it. So that's where all my things of that come from. So thank you, brother. Konosuba, God's blessing on this wonderful choker. Oh yeah, that was the OVA episode for I think season 1. It was pretty good. It was a it was a funny little. They basically do this thing in the anime where they have this extra episode after a lot of the series that kind of is just meant to be just like another episode that goes on throughout the series. It was cool. I liked it. Saga of Tanya the Evil. I did enjoy it actually a lot more than I thought I was going to. It's just such a funny idea. Corporate man revives his little girl in war-torn world that she becomes the main general for her nation. Was a lot more enjoyable than I thought it would have been. Yeah, I've heard many things about Saga of Tanya the Evil, but I did enjoy it actually. It was a really cool premise for an anime. There's a lot of cool characters in it too as well. Um, Story went pretty hard for a while. Um, I'm not really a lot into like the war stuff myself, but in terms of like war-ish, anime, it was pretty cool. And it was like it has a little bit of magical elements to it because of some of the floating stuff that they do in it. And they have like super soldiers, going on in it, but I enjoy what I did to see of it. I watched basically the whole series, so it's all very enjoyable. If you like, that kind of stuff. Basically, if you like good, just over the top action anime, it's definitely up there in that sense. I did watch up to season 2 of My Hero. Um, I think I like this first season. I think the most so far, but season 2 was still fine. Gabriel Dropout is such a great anime series. I love this series, dude. Angels and devils that are terrible at their jobs. Really cute and funny interactions. And Vignet is the best girl, yeah. Vignet is definitely my favorite of all of them. Although I really like the other two as well. Or actually, you know what? I really just like the main four. Like just the main four girls on screen here. I really like them all a lot. She is still my favorite one, but I like the I like all of them so much. Uh, Very very funny anime. Basically just like yeah, it's basically yeah, like I said here, it's literally angels and devils that are just terrible at what they do, and it makes for some very funny shenanigans that happen because they're basically trying to fit into like a high school setting, and they are just it just makes them very very it's along the lines of like a lot of other shows like New Game um like Lucky Star, where it's just a bunch of cute girls doing cute things. It just so happens that these people are also angels and devils who are trying to watch over anime or who are trying to watch over humanity and what they do. So funny. So it's such a funny and great series. I would recommend to anyone who likes comedy anime. Interviews with Monster Girls. Yeah, this is a cute little anime. It's one of the more wholesome monster girl animes I've seen out there. I like I love the Doulahan girl. She was very fun. What was her name again? I think it was Kyoko. Yeah, it was like Kyoko or something like that. Yeah, Kyoko Machi. She was my favorite one out of the group. Um, the other ones are pretty cool though too. It's a very cool anime. If you like Monster Girls, definitely give it a watch. If you like slice of life comedy, go ahead and give it a watch. It's a decent show just in those regards. Very, yeah, and it's like how as the title says, it's basically this guy who I think it's like either a high school or college setting, just interviewing all these different monster girls and what they do, and it's like one of those animes that like give you a concept of like how monster girls would fit in and do stuff in society if they were real. And it's an interesting concept at least. I can't speak. My voice is going out. Okay, I think I'm good now. Did watch season 2 of Konosuba. It was just as, or that's the OVA of it, but it was still just as good. A whole girl's so funny. Dumb girl gets into wacky shenanigans. Very funny and charming characters. Yeah, this is really one of those animes that you just don't take very seriously because the whole point of it is just for it to be just a ridiculous comedy anime. And of course, a hoe girl means just literally idiot girl. Like she is just the main girl of this anime is literally such a dumbass, but she's kind of like a lovable dumbass in that regard. It was very funny. It was a enjoyable watch for me at least. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, yeah. This was the OVA, yeah, for it. Yeah, it's got some fan service in it. It was they go into a hot spring. It was Valentine's Day. It was all very cute. I would only watch this again if you've watched the first series of the anime, but it was still pretty good. I enjoyed it. Slow Start is a good cutesy slice of life comedy anime too. Really cute anime of a girl making new friends after being held back for a year. Animation is very good, yeah. Yeah, so basically she I think yeah, the main girl gets held back a year. And I think it slightly affects how her relationship goes with her friends because she basically has to um restart a year of her high school life. But it's still pretty good. I enjoyed the characters and all the little things that went on in this game. It's a lot like the other shows on here, like Gabriel, like like Lucky Star, in the same kind of vein of it's just a bunch of cute girls doing cute things. It's definitely a genre of anime that I've started to get into. Who is the main girls of this again? Kumuru was cute. Hana was cute. I think I liked Aiko a lot too. She was cute too. Actually, I really like Hiroe too. She was like the yeah, she's one of the main supporting people that was like she was the more adult person that was like looking after everyone. Um but yeah, everyone else is pretty cool too. But yeah, these were the main four girls here. Tamate, Kamuri, Hana, and Eiko. Tamate was really cute too. Um Kamuri's like, the typical what's the word again? She's basically the typical lolly who doesn't really have a lot of emotion. Deadpan lolly, that's what it was. She's the deadpan lolly of the show. Um, I don't know. I think it's either between Hana and Aiko as best girl. I like both of them really well. Actually, no, Tamate was really cute too. I remember liking her a lot. Maybe Tamate. I think Tamate might have been best girl actually. I just liked her energy. All right. Rising Shield Hero. I already spoke my piece on this one. Cool action anime leans hard into the game-like aspect. Really enjoyed the plot and characters. Good stuff to root up for the underdog. Yep. Basically, as everything I said before about it. I really enjoyed that series. Still need to watch season 2 though. I watched up to season 3 of My Hero. I did enjoy it. It was fine. I don't remember when I dropped off the series. I'll probably get into it when I go down to these lists here. God, we're only like halfway down this list. Okay. Yeah, they did a movie for Saga Tying the Evil. I watched it. It was pretty good. Oh yeah, they had the use of the Mary Sue. That's what it was. I remember that too. She was interesting actually as a character. Yes, so also a good lead-in for another potential season. Yeah. So basically, the whole thing about this movie is that they had this character. Or I think her name was literally Mary Sue. Um, and she was, as her name implied, like she was just this character who was just meant to be an overpowered character. Um, and she was basically doing all this stuff to try to stop Tanya. Like she actually was like a legitimate threat to her at some point during the movie too. But I think uh, it's still it was a very interesting concept on it because I think it was kind of technically a parody of the type of character that Mary Sue's are, or they're just meant to be these just overpowered people that not a lot of people technically like. But it made for an interesting villain, at least in that regard. Just because they kind of leaned into that aspect. So yeah, How not to summon a demon lord. You like ecchi anime? Here's an ecchi anime for you. A funny ecchi anime about an awkward guy trying his best to play a powerful demon persona. Yeah. So basically, yeah, it's basically what it is. I don't know if it's technically an isekai, but it's definitely one of those animes where he is just a demon lord, and I think he was like a demon lord that was basically summoned by these people, and he basically is actually like really just this really awkward guy underneath, but he tries to play off it by being this like really confident and like demanding demon lord to try to make a good impression. And he's basically just like kept on that persona the whole time. Um very like it's funny in a lot of ways, and it definitely has its edgy moments. So if you like that stuff, go ahead and give it a watch. I watched season 2 of Agretzko. It was very good. Interesting take on the show. Still like the first season more, but very cute and dramatic overall. They introduced, I think, some new characters with this one. I don't remember who exactly they did, but I still really enjoyed it. This isn't the one where they introduced the one girl I liked, right? I don't think so. Yeah, I like Feniko a lot though. She's cute. Sonoda is also very funny too, and Washimi's a good character too, as well as the girl that's with her too. There's a lot of tension between freaking the main two people in that show too. Freaking was it Retsuko and what's his name? Haida. Yeah, Retsuko and Haida. They had a lot of tension between them throughout the whole series. They had an interesting dynamic between those two as well in the anime, just because they were like on this weird off and on relationship, and it tackled that really like realistically, which I actually enjoyed that aspect. Like normally, again, with like most animes, you like to ship people like that, but it actually handled a romantic relationship between the characters in a very realistic sense, where they actually had struggles and things that they like had to work through. I enjoyed that aspect about it very much so actually. Love is War is such a good series. I'd highly recommend this to anyone who loves romance or comedy anime. This is a very funny love drama between two characters that try to get to each other to confess their love for each other. Also, Chica is best. I love Chica. She is such a funny character. For those of you who don't know, Chica is you guys probably know Chica. She's the one right back here. She's very funny. Um, yeah, it was a really interesting concept for an anime. I got like hard into it for a good while. Um, I watched basically the whole thing all the way through. It was a very good romance anime. It was one of the few animes I watched that really made me realize I like romance anime. Um, this because this is actually one of the really good ones. It bridges the gap between like comedy and romance. That's why it kind of like pulled me in when I first watched it. Um, but yeah, it was I just really enjoyed all the characters and all the things in it. It was just really well done. It's also got some banger opening too. It's got a banger opening. I don't talk about the openings in a lot of these shows too much, but there a lot of these had some really good fucking openings, dude. Such good music. Oh yeah, Legend of Crimson. I did see that movie. It was a good movie. Doctor Stone's a cool anime too. Genius introducing tribal people to science. I did enjoy Doctor Stone a lot too. It was very fun. Uh, I think I liked the earlier episodes more than I liked the later ones, but I still liked them a lot. The Suika girl was really cute, as well as some of the other people too. Other characters are pretty good too, but overall, just a neat concept for an anime where you're basically just reintroducing science. You're basically introducing science to a bunch of people who know nothing about it. The Middle Christmas was a cool little OVA for the Gretzko series. That's good. Dragon Maid S was interesting. Yeah, this was second season. New Dragon Girl is very cool too. Yeah, she she was very nice. I can see why some people would like her as well too, but I still like Toru. I think the most. I watched season 2 of ReZero. I still like the first season more, but I did still enjoy ReZero season 2 a lot. Um, very very good series. Interspecies reviewers. It's basically a hentai, but with an interesting perspective on mythical species. Yeah, if you want to find an anime that literally borders the line between a hentai and the ecchi, this is basically the series. Like literally, this series borders so much on being a hentai that it basically is, dude. Like the characters just legitimately do just have sex. Like that is the plot. I still really enjoyed it though, because I am a degenerate, and there was a lot of very funny and very interesting characters in this show, in the series. Very 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 funny. All right, Love is War question mark. This was I think the second season. Yeah, yeah, I think this is the second season of it. Like I said, I watched all of the Kaguya-sama stuff. It was all good. A hentai not rated as 10. Tisk tisk. Yeah, I mean I really enjoyed it a lot, but I didn't enjoy it as much as some of the other anime on this list. Here's Chainsaw Man. There we go. There he is. Very gruesome and cool. Big plot and turnaround near the middle. I felt like it could have maybe gone on longer and left with a couple of cliffhangers. Yeah, I definitely feel like the Chainsaw Man. At some point, it felt like it was almost rushed to me, but it was a very interesting concept. Like again, like right near the middle of it, they had like just this giant plot turnaround with a lot of the characters, and it threw me for a loop when I first saw it. I was just like, what the fuck? There's no way they just did that, right? But they did actually. It was very cool, over the top action anime though. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who likes gritty, gruesome, bloody stuff. And who wants to? And there's just a lot of they're really good characters in it too. Um, Makama's really cool. But the other girl I really liked was which one? What was her name? They begin with T. Company is interesting. I love Pochita. He's such a cute boy. Power is really good too. Power's a really good character. Uh, was it Aki? No, Himeno. Himeno. I liked her a lot. I like Himeno a lot. But I can see why people like Makama and Power a lot too. I definitely see it. I see it. Oh yeah, and then yeah, like I said before, I watched Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, so I watched the movie. It was a cool movie. I didn't really understand a lot of the characters and everything going on in it, but it was still an enjoyable movie by itself. Just a lot of good action, a lot of cool characters that were introduced through it. I didn't necessarily understand everything that was going on with it, but I still enjoyed it. Um, Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Oh yeah, the shorts were all right. Basically the whole thing about the Kobayashi and Dragon Maid shorts was they are basically just like literally like these short snippets of like 1 to 2 minute animations sequences that really did feel like that they could have just been their whole anime. It could have felt it felt like they're like cut bits from the entire anime and they just kind of put them into its own category. It's still enjoyable. I mean, it's very very like I said, they're very very short, but I still enjoyed what I watched of those. They're good. They're basically just more of they're just basically more of what was in Dragon Maid S. And yeah, there's just more of them here too. Yep. Oh yeah, Desert Operation Desert Pasta. Yeah, this is basically the OVA for Saga Tiny the Evil. Decent. Yeah, it was a decent episode. Curious little thing that they actually. I feel like it was kind of. I don't know if it was based on a real life thing, but it felt like it definitely kind of was. It was interesting though. I liked it. Um, Same type, yeah. Japanese Hospitality, Attendant as a Dragon. Yeah, this is like another one of the OVAs for it. It was all right. Oh yeah, and we're slowly getting to the eights after Spy Family. Yeah, I really enjoyed Spy Family. I kind of already spoke my piece about most of it, but I need to watch more of it for sure. Um, Here we go. Now we're getting into the 8s out of 10s. So next up is Sword Art Online 2. I again here's one of the ones I'll speak of because I have this one up here. I enjoyed this arc a lot more over the first one. Also, Sinon is best girl. I like Sinon a lot too, and no, it's not just because she has blue hair, but I do enjoy the fact that she did have some teal hair. That was very nice. Time to roast Sao. Well, not necessarily. This one was fine. This SEO2 was a decent entry in the franchise. Um, I like the Gun Gale ones a lot more over the other arcs. There were still some weird plot hooks and things of the characters, but it was enjoyable. Also, you get to see Femme Kirito, so what's not to like about that? Femme Kirito was a very interesting concept that they added into the show. Um, they did play with him for a little bit at least. It was kind of funny to see that at least. See, I'm technically kind of a little bit of an Sao fan just because I watched the entire series. Um, there's parts of it that I liked more than others, and this so far. Sword Online 2 was the one I liked the most out of everyone. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing Gun Gale Online Alternative to see what else they've done with that kind of story. Um, this was my favorite one out of all of the series so far. Um, but yeah, this is a good one at least. So that's all good. I have more things to say about the rest of it, but we'll get to that later. Overlord. I basically spoke my piece about Overlord. It's good. The first season was pretty good. It was a good, decent pull into the show at least. Did watch second season of Food Wars. I didn't like it as much as the first one, but it was still fine. Hinako Note is a very cute anime about theater girls. I love the girl with the cat face the most. Um, unsurprising to no one, guess who is my favorite girl out of the the cast here? It is the blue-haired one with the cat face. Shocker, I know. I know. But yeah, I don't remember a whole lot about Hanaka Note, but I do remember enjoying it. Another one of those shows where it's just cute girls doing cute things. This one's they're all theater people. It was enjoyable. Again, recommended if you like any of the other types of shows that I've watched like that. There's so many shows that are like that basically out there. This is a fine one. This is a fine one. Is there a single blue hair person that you don't like? That's a good question actually. I would have to look at a couple of blue hair girls in anime and see which ones are like ones I don't remember liking too much. It is a funny concept though. I did watch season 2 of Overlord too. I'm on season 3 now. And then oh yeah, I did watch also third plate of Food Wars. It was all right. I did watch the Two Heroes movie for My Hero. It was all right. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I did enjoy it still regardless. The train arc was weird for Food Wars, but it was all right. Goblin Slayer. I did watch Goblin Slayer. Very interesting anime. It starts off really dark and like really like kind of gritty and gruesome. Um, but it kind of really makes you realize why the goblins are so hated in the anime to the point where you are kind of rooting for the Goblin Slayer to kill as many of these creatures as he can. Um, Over the top action, bloody and gory, basically all that stuff. If you like that stuff, go ahead and watch it. It was all right for me though. I liked it. I liked it a decent amount at least. Did watch third season of Regretsuko. This is oh yeah, that's right. This is the idol arc. Start to get a little ridiculous with her joining an idol group band and becoming insanely popular, but still enjoyable all the way through. I thought it was weird that they went in a direction with Agretzko where she just became this really popular idol girl out of nowhere, basically. But I get that that's what the show was basically trying to make fun of and shed light upon was it was supposed to be talking about the idol scene in Japan. Like that was the whole thing about season 3. It's one of those things again I didn't get at the time, but I get it now. So it was still a decent arc. I liked all the idol girls; they were cute. Um, they also had one of my favorite content creators voicing one of the main guys in there too. Sungwon. He was a Sungwon show. He was a good addition to the cast of it. That's actually why I was kind of glad I watched the English dub of it because I got to hear those voices in it. Um, oh yeah, and then Ultramantic was a good addition to Kaguya Love is War. Um, I really enjoyed the entire series. It was good. It was all very good. Here's fourth season of Agresco. Cool take to see how the office manages the struggles of a new manager and corporate changes. Yeah, yeah. So basically, yeah, the fourth season was all about new guy coming in, disrupting the office scene, and again, another interesting take of how they try to handle, um, basically a new antagonist coming through. It was I enjoyed it a decent amount. Sword Art Online. Okay, so here is the first one. The first episode was very good, and then it fell off over time. Still enjoyable regardless, and I liked a lot of the characters. Yeah. So this is basically my main thing about Sword Art Online is I really enjoyed the first episode. The first episode was a really good setup and premise. They could have done so much cool stuff with this anime. And then immediately it just dropped off because second episode they do a time skip, and um, it just goes into a bunch of other stuff that was a little weird. Um, I really liked the again. I really liked what they did with the first episode. I feel like they condensed a lot of what happened in the other couple of episodes into just other things. Like I think they could have extended it if they really wanted to give more time to the first party that Kirito was in because I actually really liked some of them, but they did not get a lot of time or shed they or like things to really like get you captivated with those people. There's one of the girls I like really liked in that party too, and then again, there's not a lot that happened with them before Kirito had to move on and do other things. So overall, SEO left a weird taste in my mouth after watching it the first time through. Um, Yui is a very weird addition to the cast because she's just supposed to be this overpowered hacker girl lolly entity that basically acts as a illegitimate child to the people, to the main two people. But there's a lot of weird decisions that were made in the show. I still think the first episode was really good. I really like a lot of the characters, especially what was it? There's two in particular that stood out to me that I liked a lot. Um, Silica, I think was my favorite one, and then Rika, I also really like too. Asuna's a really good character too, but yeah, I really like those people at least the most. Very very cool. But not, overall, not again. Sword Art Online itself as a series, I don't feel like it's too bad. It's definitely it was one of the first animes I've ever really like fully watched, which is why I liked it more probably than more most people would. Because once you watch other anime, you start to realize how not so good Sword Art Online is, but it's a decent starter anime if you are like just new to anime in general, like I was when I watched it. It definitely left a weird taste in my mouth though after I watched the first episode and started getting more into it. I'm just like, what is going on here? But I still enjoyed it. It's fine. First one was fine. I just wish they did better stuff with it and actually focus more on certain characters than they did, but it's all fine. All right. Sword Art Online the movie, Ordinal Scale. Oh yeah, Ordinal Scale was an interesting movie. They put Kirito into AR gaming world where he was not used to it. And ridiculous at the end, but decent fan. Yeah, they put in a lot of fan service near the end, especially with all the freaking characters coming out of the woodwork for some reason. Um, he still gets overpowered as he usually does throughout the entire series. So like I said, it that part of the movie felt so weird to me when I was watching it, but I liked what they did at first because I was just like, oh hey, cool. They're actually putting Kirito into a different thing that he's not used to, and making him face challenges that he would not have had to face otherwise. And I like that idea. I like the idea of him actually trying to overcome a different obstacle because throughout most of the series, he was this figure who latches onto things very quickly and becomes quickly overpowered because he is basically video game Jesus. So that's that was fine to see for at least a good hour or so. But he did eventually get over it, as he usually does. I have mixed feelings about the Star Online series in general, but these were both fine entries. They're fine. Agretzko season 5. Cool characters thrown in and wholesome drama moving in with your partner. It gets very political later on, but still very enjoyable. Yeah, this was the political episode, or the political season, I should say. They talked a lot about Japanese politics, which, again, I wasn't necessarily into when I was first watching it, but I get what they were doing with it. I get why they did it, and I get why it's important to talk about because there was a lot of stuff being thrown in and talked about in that anime that makes a lot of sense for people who are living in Japan and are dealing with their politics. It's it it was weird. It was interesting to me as a viewer of that kind of stuff from the outside to see what it was like, but I understand what they were doing with it. Also, yeah, they had the whole subplot of trying to live together with your partner, which is definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing that is real. There's a lot of realness to Agretzko. There's a lot of real moments to it. Also, I like the was it? It was at some point during these seasons. I think it was during season 3. It was season 3 or 4. Uh they added like a new girl that was like an otaku gamer person. And they touched upon the the homeless otaku scene in that too, which is interesting. It was interesting to see how it dealt with with different topics and stuff in the Japanese world. So I appreciate that at least. All right, now we're getting to our 6 out of 10s. High School of the Dead. I don't remember much of this, but there was lots of lewd scenes and zombies. That is unironically what I think about High School of the Dead. I don't remember a whole lot. I remember enjoying parts of it. Um, there was a lot of zombies. There was a lot of lewd stuff going on. I don't remember a lot of the characters or what they did and what they meant to the plot. Um, but if you like ecchi anime and you like zombies, go ahead and give it a shot. Why not? It was all right though. It was definitely all right. It definitely isn't like an anime that's gonna blow you out of the water with anything, but it was okay. That's where a lot of these are gonna go now. Is like a lot of these are like it was okay. Star Online Extra Edition. I think. Oh, that's right. This was the episode where it had fan service and recap. Um, again, if you haven't watched the series for a while, it's fine to watch it. There's not really too much of a reason to watch it, but it's fine. That's why I gave it a 6. It's fine. Monster Musume, Everyday Life with Monster Girls. I don't really get why people like this one, but there were some good moments to it. This is one of the Monster Girl animes I never really got into. Um, it kicked off for a lot of people. Um, I thought it was fine. I didn't really think too highly of it. It was all right. Out of all the girls in the anime, I think I enjoyed the slime girl the most. Sue, she was cool. Poppy was also pretty neat too. Um, everyone else was, oh, Sambina was kind of cool too, but everyone else was basically kind of just all right. It was, it was all right. It was okay. If you like or ecchi anime and you like Monster Girls, why not give it a shot? I guess. But it didn't really click with me as much as it did, I think, with other people. Aramanga Sensei, another one. I don't really get why people like it, but it was a decent watch regardless. Um, I don't remember a whole lot about Aramanga Sensei. I wasn't too impressed with it when I was going through it though. Um, this was definitely one of the ones I just thought was like very much mid tier in terms of anime that I watched. Um, it's a very strange concept where you like I think it's basically like one of the younger sisters is a just a hentai arrow manga artist, um, and he has to just deal with the struggles of working with someone who's like that. Um, there were some funny moments in it, but it was okay. I didn't really feel too much for it either way. I did watch it all the way through, but it was all right. I don't I don't really I didn't really get it too much though. Not my kind of thing, at least. Brotherhood Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, they made an anime based off of Final Fantasy 15, and of course I watched it because I was very much into that game when I was playing it. Interesting backstory anime for characters of the game. Would have preferred to see it in game, but this is good too. That's kind of how I ultimately felt about it, and that's why I gave it a 6 because I'm like, this is okay, but why was this not just part of the game? Why did they have to make a tie-in instead of have it in the game somewhere? But it was okay. It was okay. It was only 5 episodes long, so it wasn't too much, but it was all right overall. It basically just touches upon all the characters in the game. Masamune-kun's Revenge. I don't remember a lot about it, but I watched it with my friends, and it was all right. It was one of those things where I think it was like a weird romance drama kind of thing, where I think yeah, like one person was trying to get revenge on the other for I think um in different ways. I forget exactly what was going on with it. Masamune got a new season. Interesting. I'm not sure if I'll watch it because I wasn't really too impressed with it when I first watched it, but it was all right. Have you done the pocket pulls from new packs? I did get some of those, yeah, too, Ben. I've been kind of keeping up with it as every so often now. But yeah, that's I don't remember a whole lot about it. It's because it was so mid tier for me that I don't remember a lot about it. It was all right. I read the manga of it, so I've skipped the show. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it was all right for me. It was all right. Blend S overall not bad. Funny moments, but probably when I watch it again, I rate it 6. Um, 6 again. Again, Blend S is another one of those shows where a lot of people kind of blew up about this thing. Um, I never really got it, in personally. I mean, it's cute girls doing stuff in a maid cafe. It was all right in that sense, but it was very much like I've seen other shows that are better than this kind of thing. Um, it was overall not too bad, but I still liked a lot of other things instead more. Kaho, I think, was the girl I liked the most out of everyone, but everyone else was all right. I also like the addition of the trap of the femboy. They're very interesting. Surprise. They were the surprise of the show for sure. um, but yeah, it was all right. Sora Offline, I would even if you even if you don't or if you do like SAO a little bit, I would not recommend watching the offline spinoff. It was weird. I don't really get why they made it. It's something I watched because I was into SAO during that time. They basically have like chibi versions of the characters in the show, just discussing things that happened during the show. It was very strange. It was like one of those things that they probably aired in between certain segments of other Japanese shows. I just, I never really got it. It was weird. Probably money. Yeah, you're probably right, Ben. It was probably because of money. They also made a second one. So yeah, it was. Those are the only two I rated 5 out of 10 because I was just like, why? Why was this a thing? I don't think it needed to be. All right. So before we get into the rest of the stuff here, I'm going to go quickly use the bathroom, and I will be right back. Where's my thing here again? There you are. All right, I am back. Are we ready to talk about more anime? Boop. Okay, we're back. Okay, so now we get to get into the fun parts. So now we're getting into everything that I have on hold and everything that I've dropped. I'm not going to touch Plan to Watch just because it's all the stuff that I haven't even touched or watched yet. Um, I might skim through the list just to show you how freaking massive that list is, but there's so much. There's so much I want to watch, but I can't speak on it because obviously I haven't watched it yet. So, but these two I definitely can. All right. So, I'm probably gonna also skim through on hold a little bit just because a lot of these things I put on here, a lot of the stuff I put on my on hold is gonna be stuff that I haven't actually gone all the way through or started. So actually, we'll go ahead with progress first for this one. This will be an interesting way to sort this one, because this will be how many of series I've actually gone through a little bit, and then everything else will basically be like, I haven't started yet. But on hold, I've kind of been using as a list for uh, anime that I plan to watch fairly soon, that aren't I currently watching. So they're basically stuff that I moved up from plan to watch to here. So like I said, I'll be skimming through some of them, but some of them I actually have decided to put on hold for a while, just because I haven't had really time or motivation to get back into it. All right. So starting with number one, we got Shugachara. I watched this a while ago with one of my exes. She got me into it basically, and it's an alright show. I I I I like the concept of it. I think the whole thing of it is like It was basically this girl who was trying to. Oh, actually, hold on. The synopsis is probably gonna say something better about it. Yeah, a shy girl who struggles to make friends due to rumors about her being a cool and spicy personality. She wakes up to the presence of three colorful, ornately decorated eggs. Each one's are this guardian character, manifest into a would-be self in their dreams. Yeah, with the aid of these two personalities, she finds herself able to express who she truly is. However, things will now pan out in her favor. Yeah, she becomes entangled in the Guardian's quest and begins to uncover more mysteries about the characters, the eggs, and the organization at the center of it all. Yeah, so it's basically like a weird magical girl-ish type of show where a girl is basically it's basically kind of like a coming of age story, I think, where she's just trying to figure out who she is and how she fits into the world, and or how or like what kind of person she is. And it's an interesting like self-discovery kind of thing. I kind of like that concept by itself. It had some cute moments and cute characters in it. Um, and yeah, all these different personality parts of her kind of help her express those parts about her that she normally would be too shy to try to do herself. The main character by herself is pretty cool too. I like her a lot. Uh, but yeah, it's a very weird, but yet interesting concept. Um, I've gone through a little bit of it. I got at least 17 episodes deep into it. It's about 51 episodes total of it. It's all right so far. I wouldn't mind trying to actually like get through the rest of it. Um, I just have to dedicate the time to doing so, which I'd rather do after I get all my through my other series first. So we'll get to it eventually though. One Piece. Yes, I have watched One Piece. Yes, it is still going on. Also, holy crap, this anime has so much episodes to it. Um, I'm actually kind of now at the point where I'm not sure. Oh, I could technically watch it from the beginning. Um, Although I'm not sure. I kind of want to see what some of the newer episodes look like just to see what they look like. Because it is a little bit dated from what I'm seeing of it. But it's still a pretty good show. It's I could definitely see why people regard One Piece very highly, because it's just a really good shonen anime. Um, it's so fucking long, dude. Too much filler. Yeah, there's a lot of filler, I would say for sure in some of the show. Um, but that's kind of what the whole anime is about. It's supposed to be just this giant anime that keeps going on for basically what it seems like infinity. Actually, every so often they have like different arcs that the characters are going through. So far that's what I've gone through. Is I've gone through one of the few arcs so far. up to episode 9 of it, where they're just kind of picking up new characters for the crew and everything. Um, I put it on hold just because, again, it's such a long series that I can't really dedicate myself to watching right now, and I'd rather watch some other stuff first before really delving deep into it again. I wouldn't mind trying out again, but I think the first anime I want to do with that kind of style is Gintama. I think I want to dedicate a little bit of time to Gintama and just watch what I can of it. And then if I ever want to go back to One Piece, then I can replace Gintama with it instead, where it's like, it's just that anime I watch. I try to dedicate at least one episode to every week. That way, I kind of like get the the feeling of what people or how people watched it back in the day when it was like a weekly series they saw on TV. I think that's the best way to watch series like this is just ever so often in the background, not really just binging it out. I think that's the best way to do it. So we'll get to it again eventually again. Future Diary. Yeah, this is an interesting anime too that also one of my exes got me into as well too. I got about 5 episodes into it before I put on hold just because again I wanted to focus on other anime instead. But I will get back to it eventually. Um, so it's fine so far. I haven't really gone too deep into it, but it's an interesting concept. It's basically just a giant death game, um, and all the characters are trying their best to survive in it. It's a it's death game animes are interesting concepts by themselves. So this is definitely one of the more I think edgier ones, I guess I should say. Uh, and I'll get into it at some point though, just not now. No Game, No Life. I did watch a decent amount of this show, off and on, every no so often. I can't dedicate myself to actually watching it for the life of me, although I probably should because I actually really did enjoy it. Um, oh right, that's probably the reason why. It's because I did originally watch up to episode 4. I dropped it for a while, and then it got removed off of Verve. So now I have no good way to watch it except for High Dive. Um, but I think I'd have to get a High Dive account to be able to do so. So that's kind of where I'm at with it now. Is I would love to watch it, but I don't really have a good means of doing so. So it's going to be put on the back burner for a while. But I like the concept of it a lot. It's people going master gamers going into a game world and they do all these things that are just like over the top and ridiculous for it. It's a very interesting concept for a show. Uh, oh yeah, Shimoneta, boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist. This is interesting concept. I will probably pick it up again later. I originally watched this with my friends, which is why I only have it up to episode 3, and I decided to put it on hold because I was like, "Oh, this is a cool anime. It's a neat idea. Um, I just want to watch other things first." So that's why I decided to kind of just put it on the back burner of just like, okay, I'll get back into it at some point down the line, because I definitely have the means to do so. It just seems like such a funny show. I really like the idea of it at least. A lot of these actually you'll get that same idea from like basically a lot of these shows I'm going to be talking about on hold are basically shows that I have watched with my friends. We dropped it after a while, or I stopped talking to them, or I stopped watching anime with them for a while, and then this is where it ended up. This is just where it all came to. But I remember watching it with them, so they are here. Speaking of that, Akashic Records of Bastard Magic Instructor. I initially watched with friends, curious to see the rest. Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes with a group of friends. Um, it's an interesting concept. Yeah, this is basically like what I recommend for any anime. Definitely try to get at least 3 episodes into it. That way you kind of get the concept of it, and then you can decide whether or not you want to actually continue on with it. Because the first 3 episodes are really like what set the tone and theme of for the rest of the series. If you can get past at least those first 3, then you basically got it. Because that's at least an hour's worth of it, so that's good. Um, but yeah, it seemed like a cool concept. I'm just it's like a magic school where I think like the main character is like just again the main like big teacher is just this guy who takes his teaching very strict and almost seems like a bad guy to some of the kids, but there's a reason why he's so strict and why he does the things he does. I liked what I'd seen so far of it. I'm just kind of curious to see the rest. Black Clover. Really impressive already. I just never got around to watching the rest. Maybe soon? Question mark? Yeah, maybe. Eventually. Maybe after I watch Demon Slayer or something. I don't know. But I did get about 3 episodes into it. It's a 170 episode long series. I've heard so many people say good things about Black Clover that I want to watch more of it. I just I don't know. It does seem really cool. I think that's the main thing is because of the episode length. I just couldn't dedicate myself to wanting to watch the rest of it until I got through other ones first. Surely just because of the length of it. So we'll see if we can pick up it later down the line, though. I'm curious to see what it's all about. Recovery of an MMO junkie. It's a cool idea that I want to watch the rest of soon. Yeah, I liked what I saw of it so far. I watched this with some of my friends before too. Um, I don't know. It piqued my interest, so that's why I kind of put it on this list, just to be like, yeah, I'll pick it up again later if I ever want to. But we'll see about it. I can't really say for certain what it's all about and what I like about it, but I did pique my interest at least, so I'm like, I'll try it out eventually. This is all my eventually list right here. Eventually. Tomodachi game. This is also another interesting death game. Well, actually, is it a death game technically? Or actually, no, I don't think this is technically a death game. Let me look into it. The synopsis again, real quickly. A close circle of friends composed of 4 classmates. However, the funds of the upcoming school trip are stolen. The incident causes who have been tasked to collect the money the distance between them and the rest of their class. They're deceived into meeting up and knocked unconscious by assailants. They find themselves in a confined white room with a controversial figure who reveals that the 5 of them have been gathered together to clear their personal debt of 20 million. They must participate in a variety of psychological games that will test the true nature of their friendship and their humanity. That's what it. So it's not a death game, but it's a game kind of like along the lines of. It's kind of actually along the lines of Squid Game, but you're basically testing your friendship against other games, or you're testing your friendship in these games among each other to see if you can really truly trust each other, or if you're all concerned about just getting the money and getting out of there, or like if you're willing to stab your friends in the back to clear your debt. It's an interesting concept. I like the idea of it, so I actually want to see the rest of it and see where it goes. Um, I watched the first three episodes with my friends, and it kind of hooked me just based off of that by itself. The new Tomodachi Life looks lit. Yeah, right. Imagine Tomodachi was actually that dark. Imagine, dude. Teen romantic comedy Snafu. I can't see I remember this one. I watched about 2 episodes of it. I remember watching it. I couldn't tell you what it was about though. That's why I'm like, I don't know, dude. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it in this list and just be like, okay, I'll get to it when I can. I've heard good things about Snafu though. I've heard really good things about the characters and everything about it. Top 10 anime for Ben too. Yeah, that's again, that's what I've been saying, dude. Like I heard good things about it. It's just I don't remember if I actually really truly got into it. It'll probably come up later in my list. After I've watched some of the other stuff I've done. Um, but yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Considering how unsettling some of the scenes are, I would not be surprised. Yeah, that's true. Tomodachi Life was it was a very weird, interesting concept though. I like that game though a lot. My Hero Season 4. I might pick up this again later. Yeah, because I have. That's about as far as I got into the My Hero series. By the way, this is where I'm at in My Hero. I got to episode 2 of season 4. I dropped it after that, and then I haven't really picked it back up yet because I just decided to watch more anime. I'll probably get back into it at some point, depending on how much my friends want to talk to me about My Hero and stuff. Uh, it's it's a good series. I don't know. I want to watch other stuff. I think first. I think is what my thing is. I generally don't have the time for mid anime anymore. There's too much crap to filter out compared to actually decent anime. That is fair. That's kind of another reason why I really save a lot of anime for the back burner because I'm just like if I ever find free time to do this, I will, but I'm not planning to. you know. So it's just gonna stay there in my list for like there right around there for a while, you know. But I'd like it a decent amount so far, so we'll see about it. I just have to I would just have to re I think I would have to watch a recap of a thing of the first three seasons to remember what the hell went on in this episode in the series again, just to kind of really get myself back into it. But that's for later. That is for later. Um, Devil is a part timer. I watched the first episode. That's about it. I really have not gotten too far into it, but I remember seeing the first episode. It was cool. It was very curious to me. I do want to watch more of it, but again, because I only got one episode into it, I don't have a lot of ties or recognition of it. So we'll get into it at some point again. I heard good things about it though. I heard it's really good. High School Girl, another interesting Netflix anime. It had a different, it had an interesting animation style to it. Um, the concept was kind of interesting too, but I don't know. I might pick it up again later. Might not. It'll probably sit in here for a good while with the rest of these before I fully actually give it its due diligence. All right. Um, I did watch the first episode of Mob Psycho. It was pretty cool. It looked really interesting. The concept behind it is pretty cool. I think I would have to rewatch it to really get the feel for it though. But this is a lot of these one episode animes. I'm like, I tried it out with, or I think we watched the first episode with friends, and it was a cool concept. But I'll eventually get into it myself, probably at some point later down the line, after I get through everything I'm actually currently watching, which is such a giant list right now. It's kind of ridiculous. Uh, Keijo, something to watch when I am feeling degenerate. It really is. It really is just one of those anime that I want to watch when I'm just like, you know what? I just want to see boobs and things jiggle on screen right now. Because that's what a lot of this show is. It's a lot really majorly fan servicey. It's girls basically performing in extreme water sports. And water sports meaning, you know, they are on the water on pool floaties trying to knock each other off with their various body parts. Uh, it's a very interesting concept. And they go over the top with the animation and everything for it. It's very much like a shonen sports anime, but in a way that is degenerate. You know, I'm curious to see what it's like. Actually, I'm adding this to my list now. I think you would enjoy it, Panty. To be fair, I think you actually would enjoy Keijo. It very much is that type of show. Darwin's Game. It's a very interesting idea from the episode alone. Yeah, I will only watch one episode of it. It's another one of those death game animes where I think everyone's basically linked through a smartphone. Um, and they enter this game where they basically had to try to find and kill each other in real life. And then they get money for it. Or they get or they move on and try to survive in the game basically. So it's basically a giant game of like hunting people down in the world around you. I didn't see a whole lot about what it was like, but it was interesting. I haven't really gotten too far into it, but I might pick it up again at some point down the line. I watched it with Alex before. It was interesting by the first episode. I think he watched the rest of it. I don't remember what he thought of it though. Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, these are all the stuff now that I have not watched, but I do want to watch it. Cowboy Bebop is on my list. Trigon is on my list. Evangelion is on my list. All these great series that I've heard so many good things about. Ghost in the Shell, Kira, Fruits Basket, Love Hina, Shampoo, Ranma, Elfen Lied, Inuyasha, Helsing, Cherat. All this cool stuff. I just want to try out at some point. Bobobo is a funny series. I watched a little bit of Bobobo actually, back in the day, but I never really got that far into it. And I don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember it was one of those really weird, over the top shows that was really just not meant to be taken seriously. Evangelion is top five. Yeah, It's definitely on my list for like things I want to watch soon because that's why I have it in here on hold is because I'm like I want to watch it soon. Um, yeah, Macross is on here as well too. I wanted to get into the Macross series for a while now. I wanted to see what Powerpuff Girls Z was all about too. Samurai Pizza Cats piqued my interest. Arrow Samurai, D Gray Man, Code Geass. Heard really good things about Code Geass. Sherlock Holmes, why not? Clannad, Televeru, Clannad, um, Toradora, Bakemonogatari, Alchemist Brotherhood. It's funny because I'm going through all these lists and I'm just like, yeah, I haven't watched these yet, and people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why haven't you watched these amazing anime yet, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? So, but I really want to get into it actually though. I've only watched the first episode I think with my dad, but I basically put it as none because I want to rewatch it from the beginning. Also, I don't remember if I watched the Brotherhood one or if I watched the first one. So, we'll see about that. I've heard good things about it though. It's very cool. K-On! I want to watch. Everything else down here sounded really good too. Summer Wars as a movie. Railgun, Katanagatari. Made some Steins Gate even. Blue Exorcist. A lot of these other ones I actually don't remember too much. Black Rock Shooter looked really interesting too. Brotherhood is still the best anime for me. I would also indeed recommend Brotherhood as opposed to just Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Is basically Brotherhood is the better version of it, so that's why I'm going to definitely watch that one over it. It's definitely high up on my list. I just got to get through more stuff instead. Uh, I have again, there's so many like good anime on here that I've heard from so many different people that I want to try out. High School DxD is going to be my one of my next degenerate animes because it very much is one of those types of animes. Uh, Hyoko, I've heard good things about. Little Busters. I want to try out JoJo at some point. I don't know if I'm going to be too much into it, but I want to try it out at least. Maybe at least see the first 3 episodes and see where it takes me. Love Live's on here at some point. Sailor Moon wouldn't be a bad one to watch either. Data Live, I think I'm gonna play the game before I watch the anime, but I'll keep it on my list just as a thing. Do not watch Little Busters play the VN instead. Okay, that makes sense. That might be another case too where I play the VN before the anime. Because I think I might have it. If I don't have it, I'll definitely try to buy it or look into it at some point. Attack on Titan, I definitely want to watch. Yes, I still have not watched Attack on Titan. Yes, I still want to. Yes, I've heard amazing things about it. Uh, it's on the list. It's on the list. Uh, eventually I'll get there. Log Horizon, I've heard good things about too. I heard it's basically like things like SAO, but a little bit better. Um, Base Zero Cafe would be funny to watch too, I think. Noragami. Attack on Titan's overrated? I don't know. I heard really good things about the people who watched it. It's definitely at least on my list. I'll watch it at some point. We'll see how far we get into it. But I have so many other things I want to watch first before I get into it. Oh boy, we're gonna start a comment war. Bed's like it's amazing. Oh boy, overrated or amazing? I wonder which will win. Rage of Bahamut. I have on my list too. I forgot actually what I was about, but yeah. Noragami I heard good things about, especially from Alex. Or Alex, I think I said Noragami is really good. Parasite's on here too. Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. Some point. Your Lie in April, I've heard good things about. Assassination Classroom, even. Shirobako. I can't understand what my husband is saying. That seems like a funny one too. Show by Rock, Death Parade. Boy, so many good anime actually on here. Maruchan, at some point maybe. I lost interest after 3 episodes. It wasn't my kind of thing. It might just be not your kind of show then, Pansy. Like I think it's It probably is one of. I feel like Attack on Titan is probably one of those shows that it's supposed to get better. I think along as the more as it goes. That's it. I think at least maybe what I've heard of it. So I don't know. If it doesn't hook you though, it might not be worth it. But I'm curious to at least give it a good try. Uh, Gate, One Punch Man, Bikini Warriors. I thought was kind of interesting too. March comes in like a lion. Your name's on here as well. Scum's Wish eventually, yeah, too. Fully Coolly Progressive. I do want to actually watch the movie for it. It seems pretty cool. I don't know if I'm able to find Kingsglaive, but it would be nice to actually watch it. Come on, friends. Violet Evergarden, Little Witch, actual Bang Dream anime. I think yeah, they did make an anime of it too, but I want to watch the movies first before I get into the anime. I think probably try again in the future. We'll see. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be worth going into. Main Abyss I have on here too. Devilman Crybaby. Fully Cool Alternative also on my list. Darling in the Franxx. Alicization maybe at some point. Batman Ninja sounded interesting. Dropkick on my double. Yeah. All right. Reincarnate as a Slime I heard was really good. Rascal Dreams of Bunny Girl Senpai. Also interesting one I thought I heard of. Quintessential Quintuplets. I've heard mixed things about this one. Um, I'm not sure what to think of it. I at least want to try out to see what it's like. Um, but we'll see about it. Yeah. Helpful Fox Senko-kan. Senko-san. Bofurdy. It's an interesting too. Reincarnated as a Slime. Is it 080? Okay, that's just part of the other thing. Demon School Arumacun sounded really good too. Jobless Reincarnation sounded interesting. Oh yeah, they did make an anime off of D4DJ. I was curious to try it out after I tried out the game. There's all the Sailor Moons. I kind of want to try out Sailor Moon just to see if I would like it. I know it's mostly a shoujo anime, but I think it might be cool. Um, Pick Up Girls in the Dungeons on here after I watched the second season. Um, I don't know about bottom tier character. I've heard things about it. Rent a Girlfriend I've also heard things about. I'll eventually try it out at some point. Nobilis, Got a High School, Cyberpunk Edge Runners I heard really good things about. I want to watch it for sure. Hollow Graffiti sounded interesting too, just because it's based off the Hololive Girls. Bocchi the Rock, Komi Can't Communicate, yeah. I love how I'm basically going through this list and I'm just outing myself of just like, yeah, I heard about these animes. I heard they're good. Haven't watched them yet. We'll get there. Oshinoko. Campfire Cooking. My instant death ability is so overpowered no one in the other world it stands a chance against me. And I heard things about that, I think. Gushing over magical girls. Metallic Rouge, and then finally Look Back. Okay, so that's everything that's on my list of like I want to watch these for sure at some point. There's a lot actually on the list for sure. There's so much. It's so hard to dedicate time to watch anime. I just really have to dedicate time to it. I might dedicate some time today after I finish the stream. But before we do that, I want to get done by at least one. I think we can get there. There's not too much left to go through, at least. So the last thing I'm going to touch on upon this in this stream is all of my dropped anime. So this is anime that I have actively watched and watched up at least maybe to a certain point at, and I decided halfway through it, I was like, nah, not my thing, not for me. We'll see. Yeah, let's see what it's all about. All right, this one I'm actually going to go in progress order as well too, just to kind of show off that. All right, so my top dropped anime, Boruto. Unsurprisingly, I mainly watch this with my brother. I still prefer Naruto more. Yeah. So basically, like I said, I was living with my brother for a good while, and we had basically a tradition where he would watch Boruto with me, and we watched up until episode 68. And that is when I dropped it because I think that was around the time that he moved into his own house, and I didn't really care to watch the rest of the anime. I'm pretty sure he went on to watch the rest of it without me, but I did not get it past that episode. I thought it was it was very much mid tier for me. I still like Naruto more than I like Boruto, but I watched a decent amount of it. So there you go. Um, I don't know. Boruto's okay, but I like Naruto a lot more for sure. I would rather rewatch all of the original Naruto and Shippuden before I watch Boruto again at least. So there's that. Fate Stay Night. I did watch up until episode 11 of this. And then I dropped it because I heard that Unlimited Blade Works was better. So I was just like, you know what? And it's basically, I think, from what I've heard, the same story. So I was just like, I'll just watch Unlimited Blade Works first. Um, but I did get a decent amount into it. I'm not sure actually if it's worth finishing. You guys can tell me if it is or not. Um, if I should actually just go through and finish the rest of Fate Stay Night, or if I should just dedicate myself to watching Unlimited Blade Works instead. Because I can really go either way, I think. But for now, it's staying in my dropped pile, I would say. So that's basically the main reason I dropped it, is because I've heard of Unlimited Blade Works, and it was basically the same plot line. Um, Fairy Tale, I did watch 10 episodes worth of this because I think it was either my friends or it was my brother. One of them got me into Fairy Tale. I think it was my brother. I think he watched Fairy Tale with me up until at least episode 10, and I thought it was all right. It was definitely all right. I might get more into it if I really wanted to at some point down the line, but I just couldn't really find the thing to dedicate myself to it. So it's kind of just gonna stay down here for a little while, I would say. This list I basically will not touch at least until I've gone through everything on my on hold, I would say. Um, so yeah, Angels of Death. I did watch up to episode 6 of that. Um, I may or may not pick up again at some point down the line, but I'm really not like highly looking into it. I thought it was all right. It was an interesting concept. Like I think you're like going through like this basically like death dungeon kind of thing. I don't remember a whole lot about it, which is probably another reason why I dropped it. Is because by the time I would have gotten back into it, I don't remember what a lot of it was about. But I don't know. We'll see about it at least. For now, I just added to my drop pile because I'm just like I'm not gonna bother or worry about it yet. Wagnaria. I couldn't really get into this one. Yeah, I watched about 5 episodes of it with my friends. Um, it was all right, but it didn't really feel like it was an anime for me. Um, I don't remember a whole lot about it, so I'm like, yeah, I'll just drop it. Just put in the don't really care about watching the rest of it pile of my anime. And then I did watch a bit of Sakamoto as well too. I watched up to 5 episodes of it. It again one of those animes where I'm like I don't remember a whole lot about it. It didn't seem too interesting to me. So I didn't really get an interest to go through the rest of it, so I just dropped it. It was all right though, what I saw at least of it. Citrus, I didn't get around to finishing this. I got about 5 episodes into it. I don't know. It didn't hook me as well as other anime. Um, it's an interesting an interesting romance anime, but I would have to get back into it if I really wanted to. But I'm not really worrying about it right now. Dagashi Kashi was already cool. It was kind of a cool concept because it basically it explored the world of Japanese snacks. It didn't really grip me as much as like other games or animes, so but it is a cool idea for those who are actually interested in the Japanese snack culture. Um, it wasn't really like the best one for me, but I I liked what I saw at least. It was all right. I just don't think it was something I was willing to finish at least. I did watch Pop Team Epic for a good while up until episode 4. I forgot about it to be fair, so that's why it's in here is because I watched it for a good while. I liked what I saw, and then I just kind of forgot what it was all about. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll pick it up again later. Not really high on my priority list though. It was a weird anime. Definitely one of those weird types of anime. Ulysses, John d'Arc, and the Alchemist Knight. I'm still unsure what to think about this one. I watched about 4 episodes of it. It seems weird. My friends watched a bit of it, and I don't know. It didn't grip me. Not really, at least my thing. It might get better down the line. Who knows? I just maybe haven't given a good full try, but I don't know. I don't know what to think about it really. It was very, very weird for me, at least. Um, oh yeah, and you thought there was never a girl online. Yeah, like I said, I barely remember this one either. I watched it with friends. I dropped it after the first 3 episodes because I just didn't. I don't remember it too much of it. I just it doesn't come to my mind. So I just basically put it there because I'm like, yeah, drop it. Why not? Same with the anime Gataris. Didn't really hook me. I watched the first couple episodes with friends though. It's basically an anime I think where it was a bunch of people who were trying to make an anime as part of their high school club. So yeah, but it didn't really get me though. It was all right though. King's Game. I did watch the first 3 episodes with Alex, and it was a good concept. It was an interesting death game anime. Um, I was told by him that it was not worth the watch because by the end, some very questionable and weird things happened, and he was like, "Don't watch it," and I'm like, "Okay." So I dropped it. I don't know. Maybe it is worth watching, and maybe he's just biased. But I still, it didn't really cling to me as much as I probably would have thought it was. But yeah, I was told it wasn't worth going through, so I just decided to drop it because of that. Food Wars, fourth plate. This is when I dropped Food Wars because I did not care anymore. This is where the series lost me. Yep. Basically, by this point, when I was going to the fourth plate arc, I didn't really care much for the rest of the series. I feel like I saw a lot of what it had to offer, and I felt like I was just basically watching a lot more of the same stuff, and it was wearing on me. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna watch some other stuff though instead. It was okay though. I liked the first season at least for sure. The second one was also fine, and third was all right. The train arc was weird. It's basically after the train arc is when it lost me personally. But it was a decent anime all around. I wasn't sure if it was worth finishing or not. You guys could tell me if it was if food those of you who've watched Food Wars, go ahead and tell me if it was actually worth finishing or not, because I am curious to see what like happened to it. Sunday Without God. Interesting idea from the first couple episodes alone. Yeah, I didn't really know a whole lot about it. Um, and again, I forgot about most of it, what it was. I might maybe pick it up down the line, but I'm really not worried about it. I watched it, I think, again with Alex at one point, but I don't remember a whole lot, so don't really know what to say about it. So it's just gonna kind of stay here. Oh yeah, Persona 5 the animation. I did originally drop it because I watched the first 2 episodes because that was about I think how long it went before I got into the arc that I was currently in Persona 5 at the time. Um, I think I will end up watching the rest of the animation once I'm done with Royal. I don't know if it mentions anything from Royal, but I might see how the anime adaptation compared to the game, just to see if it was any different or not. Please don't. It's terrible. Is it really that terrible, Ben? You watch it all the way through, didn't you? It might say here depending whether or not. Yeah, then it's the game, but it's rushed. I mean that makes sense because they had to knock it all into 26 episodes. So yeah, it's a lot to kind of condense, especially with how long that game is. I don't know. I might give it a try down the line, but it's not high on my priority list at least to do so. Enjoy one confidant per episode. Oh, yeah, that's true as well too. All right, because they probably have to go through all the confidant things too. Yeah, we'll see about it. Maybe down the line. Magical Girl Ore. I only watched the first few episodes with friends, and I hardly remember it. It was one of those weird takes on the magical girl genre because it was I think it basically instead of becoming a magical girl, they became like this really big buff version of themselves instead, which was like a weird take on the genre or something like that. I don't remember a whole lot though, but it was weird, and I don't know if I'm gonna watch the rest of it just because it didn't really grip me the first time. But I don't know. We'll see. And finally, to finish off the list, do you love your mom and her two-hit multi-target attacks? This is not an anime for me, guys. Um, I not to knock anything against the MILF lovers, but definitely not an anime that I would watch personally. Um, Power to all you guys who enjoy that stuff, but I don't know. I thought it was very weird and strange. It rubbed me a little bit the wrong way sometimes. It was I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about that one. So I just decided to drop it. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I can leave that one. You had me at MILF. Yes, okay, but so here's the thing about this pansy. It's not like just a MILF in general, it's like your mom. Like the character's mom in general is the whole thing about this anime. That's why it rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, the do you want to bang your mom anime, yikes. Yeah, basically that's exactly right, Ben. It is the anime where the main character gets into another world with his mother, and she is apparently really overpowered and really good at their thing. So she basically has to carry him throughout most of the throughout most of the place. It's a funny concept by itself, but I don't know. Again, the underlying like tone and message of it just rubbed me the wrong way. It I didn't I didn't quite understand or enjoy that concept. How hot is the mother? Here, I can show you. There you go. This is her right here. This is her. They probably have some fan servicey parts of her, to be fair too. But again, just the tone and how they portrayed everything in it rubbed me the wrong way. It's definitely for a certain group of people, but I am not one of them. I am definitely not one of them. So I'm going to watch this now. All right, you know what? Have fun with that, Pansy. Tell me how well you like it if you do, um, or if it's actually worth it or not. Because I am at least curious. Um, Personally, I don't know if I'm gonna get back into it ever again, but it was it was definitely one of the animes I watched because I heard things about it. I think I watched the first anime with friends, and that was why we kind of heard about it like that. It was like I think it was one of those things where we kind of watched it ironically. I don't know if anyone was actually into it when we watched it, but yeah. So that's my anime list, guys. Here's all my plan to watch too. I'm just gonna kind of gently scroll through a lot of these because there's way too many anime in here. Um, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of them are Ghibli films. A lot of them are just anime that have been recommended by different people that I've been curious about to watch, but not enough to at least put on my other lists. So they're all here. They're all public. You can probably all find this. I'll link my anime list down below so you guys can go and see all of my take and taste on anime my yourself. Highly recommend the Animal Crossing movie. I do want to try it out. I just I haven't found a good service to watch it on yet. I have to kind of look into it, but I am curious about it for sure. But yeah, so that's about it for my anime list. Thank you guys so much for watching and seeing me rant about anime for a while. Like I said, I'm probably going to start doing a series at least around the end of every month where I go, I discuss some of the anime and games that I have played throughout the month, and we see and we discuss whether or not it was good or not, and what I think about it. It might not reach the whole 2 hour mark, which is fine because there might not be a lot to say about most of this stuff, but I still want to try it out. I want to make it like a dedicated, just once a month, sit down, talk with my fans about things that I do in my life because I like these streams. I like ranting and talking about things that I do outside of the streams because I don't really get a lot of opportunities to talk about this stuff. I thought about maybe doing it for blue draws, but there's not a lot of opportunities that it comes up when I do blue draws. So just dedicating a stream to it where we can actually just look at a list like this and just go through it live. I think it works out pretty well actually. Oh, it's based off of Wild World, so you might not get some of the references, but you would just be able to enjoy it. Yeah, I like Animal Crossing by itself, so I definitely think I would enjoy it for sure. I also just I don't know. I heard some like again in some cases some anime series based off of games are cool, but I think some of them are a little weird. I don't know. I might like the Persona anime if I get into it because I like the Neptunia anime, and I agree at least in the same vein that Ben kind of said about Persona, where a lot of the story beats and stuff in it feel a little bit rushed because they have to go from one thing to another in the anime to kind of touch upon everything. But I still think it was a faithful adaptation. They definitely could have dragged it on if they wanted to, but it was a fine adaptation, I think, at least. All right, but yeah, so I have a lot of games to play. I have a lot of anime to watch. I am very behind on everything that I have want to get behind. But thankfully, we have a little bit of time today before we go into work. So I'm going to be watching more Lucky Star today, and we'll see how far we can get into it because I have wanted to catch up on it anyways, and we'll see how that goes. Persona 5 manga wasn't that good either. I should have mentioned earlier. Oh yeah, I actually didn't know that they made a manga for Persona 5. Hmm. I did play basically almost all of Royal now. I'm just up to the last part. But I really enjoyed Persona 5 Royal. I would definitely recommend if you want to consume Persona 5 in any way, the game is the way to do it. It's a definite time sink, but it's so worth it. All right. So that's going to do it for today. Like I said, I'll probably do a little mini series at the end of every month, trying to recap what things I've done in my life. So you'll be seeing more of this content later down the line. I want to try to do it by the end of the month if I can help it, or if not, then the beginning of the next month, just to retouch on what the things I've done in the last month. So we'll see how well we can dedicate ourselves to that. Thank you guys so much for watching this series. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe and follow if you wish to see more of it in the future. We'll be doing this more in the future for sure, at least. And yeah, I think the next stream we're going to be doing is going to be Trombone Champ, unless you guys, I don't know, because I technically did my 3 like 4 fun streams before moving on to the blue plays. But if you guys still want to see me do Trombone Champ, I probably will still play it for my next stream before Neptunia, because I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that I do have a free day Monday to do it. So I could probably try to fit it in there. I think we'll do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I'm off Monday, so we can dedicate ourselves to doing that. I think that would be a fun idea. Because I already have the thumb and everything made for it, so I'd love to actually do it and touch upon that at least. And then we can get on to doing the blue plays again, because I'm pretty sure that's the next thing in my rotation. Let me check just to be sure real quickly. God, I've been talking so much that my voice is starting to give way. Yeah, so the blue plays are going to be the next thing I do after Trombone Champ. So after my Monday stream of Trombone Champ, we'll see about the rest of the week for finishing up Doki Doki Literature Club. And the next 3 streams are going to be dedicated to Doki Doki. And if I finish it before then I'll start up Bendy and the Ink Machine. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. What's my time for the next week? I do have a day off Wednesday, so for sure Wednesday we should have some time to play um, Doki Doki that day. And it could maybe even fit one in Thursday. Huh. This next week actually is not looking too bad for streams in general. Because I do have a bit of time after Thursday to do it. So we might next week might actually be another good repeat of what happened this week, where we actually are able to stream every single day. That'll be fun. So yeah, we'll see about that. I'll release the schedule later down the line when I create it, but I think you basically got some Trombone Champ and some Doki Doki to look forward to in the future, and of course more Neptunia Virtual Stars. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this, and hope you guys all have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye now.